sleep when you're counting stars. Got it together. Your mind can't sleep when you let it serve. Now you wanna see me fall. From a quarter mile I can see you at the goal. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it up, you'll see who had it all. You had it all. You said you wanted to fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, oblivion. I'm going in. Into oblivion. Fall into oblivion. Forget about the world we're living in. Fall into oblivion, I'm going in.
My own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Collegiate R6. We've got the round of 16 in these open league playoffs. I could not be more thrilled to be bringing you this epic rematch between OK State and Oklahoma, a rematch for the ages, one that we saw in week 3. As always, my name is Jays Wills, and Barrett joins me on the desk tonight. And Barrett, we were actually side by side when this first match actually went down in week 3 of the regular season. What are your feelings going into tonight?
Yeah, Jay-Z, that was actually my debut. So, I mean, I'm going to feel like I'm right at home. I'm sure you are as well. I'm excited for this. I know the seating is a little bit different and apart, but I think these two teams know each other really well. We saw a highly contested battle there in week 3, so I'm expecting nothing less more than a shootout, if you will, tonight.
Absolutely. And we talked about these two teams meeting in week 3, and I'll talk to you about those results as well. We saw it go all 3 maps. These two teams did battle it out and go to that decider map, which actually was Theme Park. It was Oregon Club and Theme Park, with OK State going 7-2 on Oregon, Oklahoma going 7-5 on Club, and then OK State switching it back around and going 7-2 on Theme Park. So that matchup, as it was, you would expect OK State to be the stronger team, not only because of that result, but because of the seeding going into this open league playoff. Oklahoma sits at that 21st seed, the underdogs, no doubt, and OK State remains at that 5th seed position, one of those big teams to beat, and one of those teams favored to possibly go all the way to the finals of these open league playoffs. But the big story of tonight is the IGL of OK State. Hyena is out for the game and is subbed in by Fua, a B team player on the OK State side of things. But that is going to be something we're going to focus on all night long. You lose your IGL, not to mention a starting player, a core part of your roster. How is that going to affect OK State against their rivals in this matchup with a lot on the line?
I mean, losing your IGL is huge. I mean, you have a guy who's, kind of the quarterback out there and, during hectic situations of the match. So losing that person is, huge again. But, Fua coming in, he's off the B team. I'm sure they had many talks about who they were going to bring up tonight. I'm sure they're confident with their decision.
Yeah, I've talked with Slash a little bit about this before the match, and he told me they are feeling confident. They know Fua is ready, and it's really all going to be about Fua and how he steps up into that role when it is game time. But let's take a look at our map bands and actually see where we are going to do battle here tonight. Now, we know that these teams did battle on Oregon Club and on Theme last time, but this time, the map bands, well, they could shake out a little differently. We've got Oregon, going to be our first map on the board. We've got Cafe, the second map, and Club is going to be our decider. Now, Barrett, the interesting thing is that Oregon is actually OK State's pick, when last time that was Oklahoma's pick. Cafe is Oklahoma's pick. And of course, Club is left for that decider map. Now, what are your thoughts at these overall map bands?
They had to have felt confident, kind of doing a complete switch around. I'm glad to see that Clubhouse is our decider because we did see a highly contested battle, as we mentioned at the start of our production here. It was 7-5 in favor of OK State. So I think you have to, get excited for that if we go to 3 maps. But I think initially picking Oregon off the start is going to be beneficial to Oklahoma State because they are so confident.
I absolutely agree. And we talked about that week 3 matchup. It was Oregon who actually ended up going most heavily in OK State's favor when Oklahoma had actually opted to go to that point. So OK State clearly feeling confident, like you said, Barrett, and they want to send a message. They know on Oregon specifically that they were the superior team last time. But Oklahoma has, been feeling the sting of losing this rivalry matchup for weeks. And they once the playoff bracket was generated, they saw it coming. They took down their opponents in week one. That was Georgia Tech. OK State took down their opponents, GVSU, and they met here today. So this has not been a surprise matchup coming to fruition here. The teams expect it to be in this point, and I'm sure both of these teams have been hard at work doing VOD review of their previous matchup, trying to exploit the weaknesses of their opponents while focusing on the highlights and driving those points home as best as they can.
Yeah, and maybe going back to week three, maybe both teams, Oklahoma maybe is playing, 200 IQ play of picking Oregon, maybe not giving away their pick that they initially wanted at the start here. Of course, they get their pick tonight, but maybe they finally get, some tape on there. You mentioned them getting to see some footage of what Oklahoma State did to win so heavily on Oregon the last time these two met, but hopefully maybe they're going to be able to counter a little bit and understand what Oklahoma State is trying to do, and Oklahoma will try to exploit that.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about the stats of these teams because you look at OK State, they have got a very impressive roster on their hands. Slash, the captain, a 1.36 player rating with a 1.57 KD. These are impressive numbers for Slash. And if you've watched OK State play before, you know how strong Slash can be and how vital his performances can be to the team. I'd argue that they're going to be even more vital tonight, especially because you've lost a core member of your roster. You've lost Hyena for this particular battle, and you're replacing him with Fua. Slash is probably going to have to step up and not only put the team on his shoulders as he does time and time again, but he's also going to have to step up into that IGL role, be that commanding voice leading the team as a captain does and really lead them to victory here against their Oklahoma rivals. Because, coming from someone who, might not be the most experienced IGL, it's hard to step into those shoes, especially when you and I, Barrett, we talk all the time about making adaptations on the fly in the middle of a game. A less experienced IGL is going to struggle with that a little bit more than someone with a lot of time under their belt. And that is definitely a dynamic we are going to be seeing play out here tonight.
Yeah, and Slash. I mean, I've known Slash. I think he's going to take the role and he's going to excel. Maybe there'll be a little bit of rust. Not being experienced as you mentioned, being in IGL. I mean, especially taking yourself out of the play or the situation and looking at the big picture. Sometimes when you're not the IGL, you can kind of just focus on your role. I'm going to be looking at Oklahoma State though to see how they put Bua into certain situations. Maybe have him be an anchor more than putting him in the roam position. Protecting him, if you will. That way, he isn't exploited right away. At the same time, you want to make sure that Fua doesn't get flustered, or you want to ease him into competition. Not saying B team isn't A team material, but of course, you want to just not throw him into the fire, if you will.
And, we talked about the stats of OK State, and I'm also going to want to mention, the core player of that Oklahoma team as well. Rush is the player I have in mind. Also, a 1.33 player rating and a 1.54 KD, putting up impressive numbers, impressive discipline, clearly showcasing that in his play style. And that is also something we're going to see here from Oklahoma. These two captains, Slash and Rush, I believe is the captain of Oklahoma. Could be wrong on that end though. These two boys are going to have to go head to head. They're going to have to showcase all of their skills here because the player who shines through the most or the player who can lead their team the most is no doubt going to be that captain or the leader of the team who emerges at the helm. But let's take a look into our game. Our players are in the lobby and we're going to get right on in to our ban phase here. Let's take a look at exactly which of those operators will not be a factor in this matchup. We're going to get our ban phase rolling on through. Thatcher is going to be that first player taken off the board. OK State or Oklahoma rather, getting that ban going, and the Maverick off the table as well.
Yeah, of course. Those are two big operators you want to take off the board if you're trying to, withstand wall denial here. Especially, you have Maverick who can basically blow torch any device. Next, we have Mira, a wonderful operator. Take off the board if you were scared about angles. Mira has been I think, most common ban here we have in CR6 this season. And then finally, wrapping up our bans is Malusi. Of course, you have her Banshee, which is basically a tempo killer we have for certain teams. But getting that off the board, let these teams run. We'll see how Oregon pays out for both these teams here.
May not have actually seen that band face on stream, but just to reiterate, it is Thatcher, Maverick, Mira, and Malusi. They will not be a factor on this Oregon map, the first battleground where these two Oklahoma teams are going to go head to head. OK State will be starting on the attacking half and Oklahoma on the defense, and we're going to see that basement site come into play first. Now, there's a lot of ways you can set up this site on defense or attack, but seeing how the attackers pressure this site is always what I prefer to focus on. You usually have two options. You can pressure from that north side, that east side as well, a J bunker and a pillar push, excuse me, to get that supply room pressure going. On the contrary, you can try to establish that laundry crossfire over from that south side. You go down freezer stairs, you come down laundry stairs, and you get it going onto that laundry site all at once. You get that diffuser on the ground, and all of a sudden, it's an impossible retake situation for even the strongest defensive teams. And on your defensive setup, this particular site can often be considered a deployable shield central, some would say. You can put every deployable shield. You have one in pillar, you have one in J bunker, you have one on the door between J bunker and pillar. All of these are hotly contested positions with power positions for those deployable shields, something that we're actually not going to see a lot of from Oklahoma. We're only going to have one. Jack Whiskey on the smoke will be playing your typical deployable shield on that J bunker position.
Yeah, and looking at the J bunker position, defenders don't have to get picks, to win the round. Of course, you can to win it, but it's all about stalling time and their position there of not reinforcing that wall right away, creates a time stall, if you will. As we see Oklahoma State making their attack from above, I don't think they were aware that the site was down in the basement, or they were, and they were just not trying to be predictable. But as we see, they're going to do the roam clear casually. But of course, going back to my point about them, doing their time stall and impeding enough. Bless you as a my co-caster there. But of course, we're going to see a time stall here. We're going to see Kung Fu raining in some shots into freezer here. Inception and Kung Fu are facing off right now as we see. But right now, we're not going to see too much action here. So right now, it just looks like it's going to be some shots from above. But making their attack from the freezer, very common, as we're going to see Fua launch out the drone, and that is going to be taken out by Jack Whiskey. So the drone is out. Jack Whiskey is going to take down Slash as well. So now IGL form will be in full effect here now for Slash, as he is now down. It's going to be making it a 5v4. And Noma is going to go down as Rush takes him down. 3v5 here as one falls from the blue stairs. Going to be looking here as Inception to swing around. 3-4. Fua is going to take down Issues as he attempts to rein in the numbers.
Well, now in a 2v4, OK State, they've got to make up quite a bit of distance here. Inception looking for the shots on a player down over by those washing machines, but nobody is finding those fatal blows just yet. You've got two people on this defense establishing this freezer's crossfire. It's going to be Turks to find the headshot onto Inception. It's up to Cosmic now in a 1v4. A lot of work to do. One kill is delivered, but can 3 more be found? 30 seconds to go now. Cosmic has been clutch before. That's another. Jack Whiskey to hit the floor next. And Cosmic now has 2 more to find. It's Russian Kung Fu. The crossbar is on this freezer door, but Kung Fu is of no support. Cosmic now swinging around looking for Rush. Rush is going to be reloading, and Cosmic finds the shots. It's a triple kill, but 10 seconds are left. Cosmic has to find this frag or get the diffuser on the ground, and Kung Fu is being so elusive. Here comes Cosmic on the swing. Can he find the shots? The melee attempt! No. In round number 1, it came down to the wire, but Oklahoma prevails on the shoulders of Kung Fu in a clutch moment that could have gone either way.
Already starting off to see a trend that we saw in week 3, Kung Fu being the lifer, being the one who stayed alive, had the most alive time for this Oklahoma squad. Gets the job done. Of course, we see, I look like the knife had connected there. Unfortunate for Oklahoma State, but nevertheless, you're setting the tone right off the bat here for Oklahoma. Winning that basement is so crucial, as you were able to start your rotation in maps and hope to get a sweep. But good job for Oklahoma. But Oklahoma State is going to come back here and try to even the score.
Well, that round one was not very characteristic of that OK State attack that we are used to seeing. I mean, they went 7-2 on this map last time these two teams faced off. That means they found tremendous success not only on their defensive half, but on their attacking half as well. And round number one was simply no indication of an OK State attack that was going to find much traction in that round. I mean, sure, it came down to a clutch play in a 1v1 situation with Cosmic bringing it back, but really, Oklahoma had the advantage the entire time. It was a 4v1 that Cosmic almost clutched. So a very poor attempt from OK State, and something that they will have to correct if they want to fight against this Oklahoma team. Clearly, at least in round number one, we can't read into this too much, but at least in round number one, Oklahoma have come prepared to take this fight to OK State and really make this OK State attack suffer at every possible turn. OK State are going to have to change something up. They're going to have to get more aggressive and really get a bit more coordinated. And as we talked about before, that coordination is going to be harder to find because your IGL is not in the game.
Yeah, and maybe, Cosmic, we see here, we'll get a little 3K at the end of that round. Maybe Slash is already in effect of being the IGL. We're, telling him where to be. As we're going to see Inception take some bullets here as he gets shot from the floor, I believe. Like, yeah, so there's a bomb or a spot that was opened up in the floor. Inception's going to be taking some damage. He will carry that burden with him throughout this entire round. Of course, now we're just going to see some roam clearing as we see in Z, but we're going to see Turks on the freezer flank here. Going to be catching maybe Inception sleeping. Rush also neighboring Inception as well. Going to run away from danger as he runs into meeting hall. But right now, you're going to have to focus on clearing the roam, as we already see a 3-level roam, not even just sitting on the second floor, all the way down to the basement. As Kanoma is going to take down Issues in Attic, so making it a 5v4. Down goes the Cade. Of course, Walton IO is already in full effect. Drone goes out. Jack Whiskey says no to that. Inception's going to take down Turks. Oklahoma State looking to get aggressive, but a flick by Kanoma to take down Rush. He stays alive here, so now it's going to be a 5v2, and Kanoma's going to take down Jack Whiskey, making a triple kill for him on this round. Kung Fu, the one who stays alive the whole time, as Fua is going to be putting down the plant. Kung Fu's got his work cut out for him, though, as he is in danger right now, as he's going to look around. Kung Fu's going to eat some bullets. He's going to take Slash with him. The Nitro Cell flies out, does not connect with anyone. Basically down to no little health at all. Going to get stunned. Inception going to be looking to swing. Nothing doing right now, though, as he is hiding and evading, but Kanoma is going to take him down as Oklahoma State evens it up.
Well, not only does the score line even up, but, well, an absolute decisive take from OK State. The complete opposite of what we just saw in round number one was delivered to us in round number two. It was a perfect attack compared to a perfect defense, and all of a sudden, it was a 1v5, and there was nothing Kung Fu could do but find a couple of impactless frags in a hopeless retake situation. So both of these teams have their strong moments clearly and have already had some of their poorer moments already with only 2 rounds under our belt in map number 1. And now, Barrett, if there's anything we know about these two teams, is that they love to sweat this one all the way out to map 3, round 15. I mean, at least from OK State, I mean, this is a team that just refuses to win in 2 maps. They need that decider map to win, and even from seemingly insurmountable leads, this is a team that claws it all the way back. And on the same token, you look at the other side of the coin here, you look at Oklahoma, they know how to do the exact same thing. They play OK State regularly, they did so in week 3, so they are no doubt very capable of going the distance as well. So as much as we can read into what happened in these first 2 rounds, I mean, really, we have got a long night of siege ahead of us, to say the least, and these two teams are going to be battling it back and forth all night long. I talked to a couple of people, got their predictions about this matchup. Snail, of course, one of our power rankings analysts here at CR6, creating those rankings that everybody knows and loves, said that this would be a 2-1 victory for OK State. Other people I've heard say it's going to be a 2-0, that OK State aren't going to mess around this time. But to those people, have you seen Oklahoma yet? I mean, this is a team that came out in round number 1 in style. So in round number 3, we're heading back to kids and dorms, and Oklahoma, they're going to have to change things up in a big way to find some success here.
Yeah, I mean, you can't count. Both these teams deserve to be here. Obviously, it's the playoffs, and different seeding. Of course, there's a difference in that. So we're gonna see Kanoma swinging in to Meeting Hall. He's gonna get taken down by Turk. So already a man advantage there. But back to what I was saying is, both these teams deserve to be here. This isn't the playoffs. This isn't Swiss at all. So I mean, they can do it. I mean, both these teams are capable of winning, and both teams, are very familiar with each other. Jay-Z, 67 miles separate the campuses of these two teams.
Well, they're practically neighbors, but they're going to have to, I guess, make themselves as much enemies as possible here, as a brilliant toss from Turks will end Cosmic's life there. The Thermite on that master balcony here, and now the man advantage is already heavily in the favor of Oklahoma. Inception, of course, has something to say about that, and will drop Rush, the Jaeger on the flank from Laundry Stairs, out of this round. Turks has been aggressive in these first 2 rounds and is not going to disappoint. More aggression coming out from the Mozzie in round number 3. Inception now working his way up on this trophy door. Gonna get a few shots shot his way by Turks. The information attempting to come out here for OK State, but Turks is overall doing a great job at denying that, taking out a few drones, using those Mozzie pests appropriately, and then falling back. But just as I say that, Turks is actually not going to fall back. Once again, aggressively challenging on this trophy door. Slash attempting to get that big window pressure going, make these defenders really feel uncomfortable on this site, and Turks clearly feels that way, but getting a trade on out, as Slash will take down Turks after the first player. That would be Fua cut down. So now at 2v3 with Oklahoma, they've got the man advantage and they've got the time on their side. Slash and Inception are gonna have to claw this one back.
Yep, 2v3 left here. It's just as I say that, Kung Fu's gonna take down Inception. So Kung Fu, Jack Whiskey issues left to defend the bomb. I believe they know where Slash is, sitting here on big window as Jack Whiskey throws out the toxic babes to prevent Slash from entering this window. He's going to be caught in a crossfire once he enters, and he's going to eat that right there as Jack Whiskey's going to take down Slash. Oklahoma holding it down, though, second time around, but they're going to extend their lead by 1. Oklahoma's not messing around tonight, Jay-Z.
They are not, and they're showing that by some early aggression off the bat in these rounds. They're not waiting to the fights when there's a 5 versus 5 in that 20-second push that OK State are going to no doubt attempt to unleash towards the end of the round. They're trying to get some fights early on. We're seeing Turks play a very aggressive style of play with that commando on that Mozzie. Seems that Oklahoma have their minds set on taking this fight to OK State as soon as possible. Not only overall in this series, but in this map and in each individual round. They are trying to get aggressive early on, get the pressure going against OK State, and really make them feel a man disadvantage. And of course, both of these teams know how to work back from those disadvantages when the numbers aren't on their side. But if Oklahoma on their defensive half continue to get these early entry picks and then fall off back to site and then play that clock, that is an excellent style of play that has found them success in 2 rounds thus far. Slash clearly doesn't want that success to be furthered, and it's going to be bringing out the Blackbeard, a staple operator for this OK State captain, and one that we are going to see in play in round number 4.
Yep, and we're going to see the similar setup. I don't think there's really anything they changed last time on their setup here on the bottom basement site. Last round. Of course, we're going to see Turks and Rush basically sitting in the roles of being the roamers. So Turks, who's been oh so aggressive so far, he is going to have to maintain that, or Oklahoma State is going to have to take care of Turks if they're going to want to win one of these rounds here. So looking at the thing right now, they don't think they really know where the bomb site is unless they're just going for a massive roam clear up in the attic. So drone work going to be placed out. But right now, I mean, you're basically doing a great job if you are Oklahoma, because you are stalling so much time with the roam presence, making everyone uneasy. And Jay-Z, you mentioned it, having the aggression is we're going to see Inception take down Rush. So already one of the roamers taken care of. and it looks like Turks is going to be cut off from the bomb site as shots are going to be raining through soft construction there. But of course, you're going to have to worry about the roamer one more time. As you're going to see Turks make it back to site eventually.
Well, Jack Whiskey's actually going to be able to get a couple of shots here onto Fua. They pushed on in J Bunker without clearing out this smoke first. It seems not to matter for Inception as Turks will get cut down. The over-aggression this time from Oklahoma is being punished rather than rewarded. Jack Whiskey, despite the shield being burned, is going to challenge that angle, and Cosmic will also punish that over-aggression. And so just like that, it's Kung Fu and Issues who have to fight this all the way back, and a Yana drone is going to just be staring at the Jaeger. So they know his position. Slash is going to challenge that angle. In the meantime, Issues will take down Inception. There comes the picks. The scoreboard going to light on up as Slash and Fua will pinch on in at the same time. Both deliver those frags, and OK State will make things happen in round number 4, keeping that score line even at 2-2.
Yeah, a great job by Oklahoma State taking care of the Rome presence. I feel like we talk about this every time we go on air. Taking care of the Romer, getting that early pick, automatically increases your chances of winning that round. You have a gun off the board, eyes off the board. So I mean, honestly, it's great job by Oklahoma State, evening it up to 2-2. You talked about at the start of the broadcast. This is going to be a slugfest, a shootout. But I just don't see. I think it's going to go back and forth the whole night.
Well, not only the whole night, but already in these first 4 rounds, Barrett. I mean, it has gone as back and forth as it could possibly go. I'm just going to read down my list here. The basement site was first. Oklahoma took it. But then in round number 4, we saw the basement site again, and OK State took it. And just in those middle rounds, it was kids and dorms both times, and each round went in a different team's favor. So things are not only going to go back and forth all night long, but round after round, it seems, things are going to be shaking up, changing up middle of each of these rounds. Once again, though, in round number 5, we are going to see that basement site. And we are going to see, at least for the time being, Turks electing to go for possibly a little bit of a roam, making sure that security hatch is reinforced on down will be his first priority, of course. But for OK State, the excellent roam clear we saw in round number 4 will need to continue, because Oklahoma's over-aggression, or sometimes perfect amount of aggression, has found them quite a bit of success. At least those 2 rounds on the board were definitely a result of that aggressive roam play. That is why we are seeing them enter that top floor and work their way down. Barrett, you've mentioned it. You've been wondering, do they know the bomb site is there or not? I can tell you they absolutely do. It's just the fact that they are going for that roam clear first and going for that map control approach. A very strong approach when done properly. However, if you get out of control, if you don't push together, then all of a sudden that roam clear can turn into really just clearing of your utility, clearing of your manpower if those roamers can get one-on-one gunfights. But this time, while the roam clear is actually not going down, the full J bunker pressure is. The shield already popped, Jack Whiskey forced to retreat, but now with the M590, he'll drop down the ace. That's a hard breacher gone, and that is a huge pick. Konoma, the second hard breacher, is going to be challenging onto the smoke, but thinks better of it, doesn't want to lose the X-Kairos pellets and the ability to open any hard walls. Just as I say that, though, Konoma finding the right timing, finding the headshot as well onto Jack Whiskey, who was holding a Toxic Babe in their hands. Now a 4v4 with the defenders scrambling on this site to try to find this traction back and try to get that positioning. Rush is going to retake Pillar. An absolute courageous maneuver, but one that paid off, finding one. Turks will find another. That slash to fall. Inception gets cut down, and all of a sudden, the J bunker pressure is completely obliterated. It's all up to Konoma in a 1v4. Very unlikely that this can happen. The bearing 9 in hand. Konoma's going to try to clutch this up, but there are several players around the corner waiting to send the Habana to an early grave.
Konoma going to be left here in a 1v4 situation. He's going to actually take down Turks, so left one of the operators that was left with little to no health. So Konoma's got his work cut out for him, as basically he's going to walk into every spot that is going to have a crossfire. Going to get some intel here, as we're going to see Kung Fu, who is unscathed, along with Issues in the round, so he's not going to have to worry about taking a gunfight, because I believe they know Konoma has been tagged quite a bit by the M590. So we're going to see Konoma swinging around here, going to be looking. He knows there's one in freezer thanks to the drone intel. It's going to be hanging around on pillar. Kung Fu waiting for him, though, as he's going to swing in. The pressure is going to be on as we hit the 25-second mark here. Checking corners, Konoma, but he's going to take down. But the impact, the Pokeball, is going to take down Konoma as Russ throws it in there. Oh, a very good Kobe there to end the round. So not even connecting with him, just in the adjacent area, but it just did enough to win round 5.
Well, a tough clutch situation, and all of a sudden Oklahoma now have the round advantage once again. Of course, this is their defensive half, and you would expect them to be successful, but this is OK State's map pick. They need to come out strong here unless we are going to repeat some of that week 3 shenanigans, the collegiate special, as I like to call it, where your opponent will take your map pick and you will do the same to them. Maybe that's the kind of matchup we're in for tonight, but so far, we're going to keep things focused on round number 6. I mean, in round number 5, we saw the aggressive push, the lack of at least manpower used to get the roam clear going. It was simply droning out the entire map and then extending that into a J bunker push. But that strategy did not work for OK State whatsoever. They found a lot more success in that previous round where they actually did devote the utility and the resources to go from that top floor, clearing out the roamers and working their way down. Because they did not do that in round number 5, Oklahoma could have free reign of that upstairs, use some vertical pressure, and use some pretty good flanking opportunities that were presented to them. Fua was, of course, no longer on the Nomad, taking up the role of the Yana instead, and that is something that can be a thorn in the side of an attack if you don't use that Yana properly and if your flank watch lacks just a little bit. But we are heading back to kids and dorms. This site has gone both ways, and so we're going to have to pay attention to how both of these teams want to approach it for the 3rd time. We are going to see Rush on that extended roam over there in that meeting hall, a place that has found Rush in the grave several times, but a place that OK State don't seem to be eager on challenging just yet. It's going to be some direct pressure going straight onto this site early.
Yeah, and the key thing for Oklahoma is actually we're going to see Rush basically repeat history. He's going to be down almost little to no health, but they don't have to go to the tertiary bomb site because they are losing that round. They the cycle restarts once you lose a map or a site there. So you are able to with you getting that first win on the map the first site, the win. Oklahoma basically is in the driver's seat because they are able to basically not they don't have to be on that tertiary bomb site to go away from it. So back to kids and games, and you're able to stay in a site that you're comfortable with. So Rush is going to be taken down. So the Jaeger is going to be down. His ADS is, of course, still on the board. He's going to get picked up by his teammate. So a lot of danger happening as we're going to see the Selma charges from Cosmic open up Attic in the attempt to maybe get issues here. Laying prone in Attic up against the wall. Of course, he's in a perfect site here. All it's going to take here is a little bit. He is going to get Konoma, so hard breacher off the board. Issues. I'm sorry, it looked like Jack Whiskey was the one who killed him. Cosmic's going to be firing in some bullets. Just going to miss. Rush. Turks is going to be down right now. So lagging right now. But of course, we're going to see Slash sitting here on the window. And the pressure is on for both teams.
Yeah, it's a 4v4. It is an equal man count, and both of these teams are going to have to make and execute happen, or at least OK State is going to have to do that. You've got Kung Fu and Turks hold up here over that southwest side of this site, looking to pressure the big window. Turks is going to swing out and find the shots onto Fua. That is your Jackal off the board. Slash going to take a little bit of damage here, also being hotly contested on this big window. Position issues. Delivers the headshot onto Cosmic, and Slash and Inception are once again all alone in a 2v4. Slash looks for the shots with the G8. The G8 goes burr, but Slash will not. Drop down to 5 HP, unable to find any frags. Inception, top of white stairs, is going to hope to find a crossfire, but Slash will find the shots, but Rush is actually going to swing out and hit Inception just a few times. Slash now is going to jump on through, but it's going to get punished from Kung Fu and Inception. All that remains, a hopeless push top white stairs. Rush will punish it, and Oklahoma go up 4-2.
Great job by Oklahoma playing it slow. It looked like Oklahoma State had penetrated Attic and was able to get positioning a foothold there. Issues did an excellent job of getting rid of the Habana who had entered Attic. So a great job by Oklahoma to play it safe and not to peak when you didn't need to peak, or not getting risky right now. So right now you are up 4-2. Keep it going. They're going to go back down to basement. Everything's going to be good for them. I see they're going to bring out a Lamai, so that is a little bit different, as they probably are going to attempt to help the smoke on that J pillar blue area. I don't even know what you were referring it to earlier, JZ, but they're going to try to attempt to help that smoke there. Help Fua, who is the B team player, so they're going to probably put him in a safer position on that elbow right there.
Well, before we get into this second split, Barrett, I really have to mention the blunder that OK State made in that previous round. And that was, of course, leaving the Kaid hiding behind the bookshelf in Attic. The big problem with that OK State attack is they did not do the traditional execute you'd see on that game's site. They did not pressure from the Attic side. They did not bother to establish the crossfire. Instead, they chose to shortcut that step, maybe saving a bit of time by having a player jump in the Attic window. They tried to establish Attic control by opening up the trophy Attic wall, but what they neglected was that you can simply hide behind the bookshelves in the corner. That's what Issues did. It resulted in Konoma's death, and that is, in my opinion, the reason that OK State lost that round so badly. If they had gotten the pressure from the Attic side first and then opened that trophy to Attic wall, at that point, there's no way a defender can hold that position. You have Attic control, you already took closet control, and you have your crossfire. That was simply a technical mistake from OK State, something that we're not used to seeing them make, but it was a huge blunder that no doubt costed them the round. But now they're on defense. Now it is Oklahoma's job to make the blunders, in OK State, it's their job to just wait for Oklahoma to walk into their open and loving arms. Rush going to establish this pressure on Laundry, while Turks is establishing that meeting pressure. Little do they know, there is Inception, a Vigil lurking in Kitchen, who could be an ever-present threat. It does seem that Turks might be alerted to this and is going to be holding an angle. The drone work has been successful, so they know Inception's position. Of course, he is on that Vigil, but now they have to clear him out. Otherwise, this attack will be over before it even gets started. Well, now, and as we continue this round, Barrett, I think you did a classic mute situation, but we have 1:30 left in this round, and Inception has yet to be forced out of this position. We're seeing Rush and Kung Fu, a desperate attempt to force him out, but Inception is playing this absolutely brilliantly. He's holding behind the crates, he's playing extremely passive, he is taking up all the time off the clock. Oklahoma have to deal with this, otherwise this execute is never going to happen. Inception going to use this opportunity to actually get aggressive. There's a player right outside the door, that's Jack Whiskey, but he has no idea. Inception still remains unnoticed. Issues are going to walk right in, and he'll get cut down. Jack Whiskey now, no refrag there. Rush attempts the refrag, but Inception gets a double kill. You cannot stop this man. He has Diffuser. He has all the time on his hand, and Slash finds another kill. Jack Whiskey finally takes down the Vigil, but a disaster strikes for Oklahoma. This is OK State's round for sure.
Turk's going to be pressuring here right now as he's going to take down Fua, making it basically a 3v2, almost a 2v2 slash very weak. Going to be coming from above on the flank. Cosmic's going to take down Jack Whiskey, and Turks is all left to fight for his team right now, as they know he is in freezer with shots being rained out. 14 seconds on the clock left for Turks. And of course, he's going to have to make something happen here, or he is going to be done for, and Cosmic is going to finish him. And Oklahoma State is going to win their first round on defense.
Well, a simply brilliant roam from inception. The attack was indeed over before it got started, simply because Inception was the all-star of that round. He could not be taken down. He played it passive and then used that opportunity presented to just absolutely destroy two players in Meeting Room Oklahoma. We talked about blunders. They made a big one there. They let Inception roam free. They looked like they were going to force him out, but then whether that was a missed drone work, they couldn't figure out where the Vigil was. Of course, that is the strength of Vigil. He can hide from drones, but nonetheless, a crucial mistake from Oklahoma. Brilliant play from Inception. That is what enabled OK State to take that round. I was worried the caster curse would come into effect there in the end, but OK State, they just could not be felled at that point. With only 30 seconds left on the clock, the bomb out of pocket. I mean, there was no shot that Oklahoma had in round number 7. But we're heading upstairs, or we're heading to this tertiary bomb site, rather. We are going one floor up. It's going to be Meeting and Kitchen, the next focus on this map.
Yeah, and of course, if you're looking at Oklahoma State, maybe they are throwing a little bit of curveball here. And what I was going to say is Inception did a great job of time stalling there. You're right, technology is great, but somehow the mute was pressed on my microphone. I'm not going to say if it was me or technology. But here we are. Inception is going to be opting to be the castle, so getting rid of the Vigil, as it looks like he's going to be taking more of an anchoring role on this site here. And of course, we saw this last time we met, Jay-Z, with these two teams, is that Oklahoma State did a little bit of a fake upstairs because, you know, you thought it yourself. This is where they thought they were going to go, as we see barbed wire up. Rush is going to be looking around because they're going to fake that they're upstairs. Another time stalling tactic in order to prevent this Oklahoma attack. But Turk says no to that, as he's going to take down Kanoma. So shots are going to be flying out already. Turks has been so aggressive, but yet so effective at the same time. Inception's going to eat some bullets himself. But Turks has been basically, I think you have to say right now, Jay-Z, the stud for Oklahoma tonight.
Yeah, 9 and 7, putting up pretty good numbers. And you mentioned that site fake, Barrett. I don't think that's what this is. This is simply a vertical hold, and one that is already being punished by Turk. That is Slash, also the next player off the board. And this vertical control that OK State were looking to maintain, at least a bit further in this round, will definitely be forgotten and, well, at least forfeit for the time being. Now with this vertical control, it's Oklahoma's job to now extend that pressure onto the site, as they need to get that tower facing wall open on Meeting Room. They need to get that bomb on the ground. The vertical pressure is going to be played from Rush here, going to be doing that exact thing, establishing the pressure onto the eventual hopeful plant spot. But it's going to be easier said than done. You've got players in showers, you've got players over in that kitchen hall, and they are going to be looking to stall out this push. Rush is going to make it even easier, taking down Inception. Fua hits the floor, and Cosmic is all that remains. Oklahoma have stormed away with this round, sitting in a 5v1 man advantage.
With a minute left here, Cosmic's really just going to have to do his best to stall here. Of course, he's going to have to worry. He's going to take down Cosmic's going to take down Turks. Excuse me. So already one off the board, making it a little bit easier. Of course, his position is known. He's got to worry about the hatch above. Of course, we know that no one's there, but he does not know that. Going to be walking through into kitchen, and Kung Fu is going to take down Cosmic. You knew that was going to happen sooner or later with the man advantage, making your chances so low. So Kung Fu gets the round-winning kill there, and they are going to extend their lead.
Well, I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with Oklahoma's attack there. They not only took the vertical control very well, but when they realized there was only one player left, they didn't bother hunting the frag that we would see many young and inexperienced teams attempt to do. Oklahoma played it very smart. They said, you know what, we assume that the Kaid is hanging out in Meeting. All we have to do is rotate our entire stack over to that kitchen site and get a free bomb on the ground. That's exactly what they did, and the smart play, it paid off. Of course, hunting for that frag would have probably been successful as well, but I love the maturity and the discipline that was just on display for us there, something that Oklahoma are going to continue to utilize for the rest of this matchup. It does appear for OK State that the trickery, or at least the tertiary bomb site being brought in instead of your typical secondary bomb site of kids was not the ultimate decision or not the best choice at the end of the day, did not pay off for them, and now they will be heading back to kids and dorms to try to make this one happen compared to the last round, which was hardly successful.
Yeah, and we're going to see our first, at least for this map, for this time around, we're going to see Oklahoma's first crack at the second floor here in the dorms. So, of course, we're going to see a lot as we see, I think, 3 ADSs stacked up on the adjacent wall of trophy room there. Kanoma, we see 2. So Kanoma making his basically his trait gnome there to prevent any projectiles coming in. So predicting maybe a master take from this Oklahoma team. Of course, you know, that is a very common way of breaking down this site and breaking down the defense. Turks can be raining in a breach blast there in order to break up any type of wall denial. Of course, we do see the mute there, so Cosmic probably had his router or signal disruptor destroyed. So right now, what they're going to have to do is worry about the roam. Of course, we know there's one on the floor right now, but ultimately, you're going to have to worry about another one walking in to Z there. So right now, Slash's job is to prevent the attack's time stall, and he's doing that very well right now as we come up on the 2-minute mark.
Well, the two defenses from OK State that we've seen have been polar opposites in terms of successful roam. That first time, it was brilliant time stall, a good use of time, and a good use of utility from this defense. In the round prior, in round number 8, that over-aggression on the top floor, the lack of discipline to decide to rotate away when the top floor was already being heavily contested by Oklahoma, cost them the round, to say the least. And so now, in round number 9, they are going to have to find some sort of balance. Slash is not going to find that balance, got caught out, and was punished by Jack Whiskey there, finding the 6th kill on that IQ. But Inception, also on the roam, will find the head of Rush. Jack Whiskey will fall the pressure from above. Kanoma will find its target, and now Oklahoma find themselves on the back foot. The ADS is going to burn that first breaching round from the Ash, so Fua's shield will remain up, but Fua is going to be contesting back and forth on this Ash. And as Turks has shown us time and time again, at least on this map, you don't want to be challenging Turks in a 1v1 gunfight because the Ash is simply better so far tonight. Cosmic positioned on this white stairs, looking to stall out this push, and Inception is on a little bit of a flank here. The pings are in Attic. They know exactly where Kung Fu is, but do they know where these two remaining attackers are? The pre-fire from Inception will be just a bit too early. Turk spotted the flick, and now Inception will have to fall off that angle. 40 seconds left, and the attackers, they're being pressured from all sides, but they are going to have to apply this pressure onto the site.
Kung Fu getting a key headshot there on Fua as he's able to maybe take down the person holding that little pixel peak here. Smoke rains out here, but does not have the diffuser, so no bomb is going to be going down. Inception, who was initially on that flank before, is now stuck in Brown hallway as Turks is going to swing him here and miss. Turks is going to miss. Inception is going to take care of Turks there, and now Cosmic's going to finish the round with a double kill. So Turks with a swing and a miss, and Cosmic's going to get a nice piece there with his secondary, preventing the bomb site. So great defense by Oklahoma State. JZ, like you said, they're going back and forth. It's like very good, very bad, very good. You know, 1 round differential right now as we enter round 10.
Yeah, both of these teams definitely struggling with consistency, but I really argue that the team struggling more with that consistency is OK State. I mean, we have seen incredible play from them, and then we've also seen some pretty disastrous moments. From Oklahoma, they have looked, for the most part, pretty consistently strong on most of their attacks. They haven't been overwhelmingly strong on actually both their attacking and defensive sides, but they have put up a good performance every time. At least from my perspective, it does seem that OK State and their performance is kind of what's hinging on whether they're going to take the round or not. If they have a clean attack, if they're coordinated, if they're making this happen well, then things seem to be clicking for them. But if they don't do that, if they make a blunder or one mistake, things kind of fall apart and the round does not fall in their favor. And you got to take a look at where Slash is sitting right now. Slash, this is not something we normally say is going negative. He's got 4 and 7 right now, unable to at least frag in the way that we would normally see from this OK State fragger. No doubt, I would suspect a reasoning for that is because, of course, Slash has more responsibility now that Hyena is gone. Hyena, that IGL role, is not on this team for this particular matchup, and so Slash, forced to fill those shoes, has been unable to fill, I guess, his own shoes in terms of that fragging potential and that very strong play that we are accustomed to seeing from him here. But we're going to head back to this basement site. We're going to head back to this OK State Rome. Inception is going to be doing exactly that. This time, Oklahoma are going to need to get this man out of here as soon as possible, know his position, eliminate him before this attack gets stalled out completely.
Yeah, Inception going back to a previous couple rounds ago where he did such an excellent job time stalling, even getting a couple picks with him. As we're going to see Inception do just that, taking down Turks in Meeting Hall. So, of course, he's probably going to get pushed from the north there, as there was someone else on a drone walking in with Turks. But right now, he's just going to do his job to hold everything up on the Oklahoma end and attempt to maybe take another body with him as he leaves this earth, as he's there with little health sitting in Meeting Hall. But right now, Rush is going to be pre-firing blue stairs. No one's going to be there, so don't worry about that. But Jack Whiskey's Kung Fu's job right now is to get rid of Inception, as he has done a great job. We hit 140 left, and there we see another engagement right here. No, Inception's going to go down. Jack Whiskey's going to take a little bit of damage, but that's a good trade as they take a very dangerous man off the board right now. So right now, Issues has vertical control as we see into Laundry, but ultimately you got the job done getting rid of the roamer, and I think your attack is going to be good. I mean, nothing good so far, but 4v4 heading in with a minute 15 left.
You have, of course, lost Turks, which is going to be quite an important player, usually in these executes, but will not be a factor in round number 10. And it does appear that Oklahoma have some idea of where they want to push from. For now, Jack Whiskey and Rush are going to be rotating around to this construction push, to this J bunker push, and the other attackers are working their way down Freezer. Rush and Jack Whiskey are going to be holding alt, and they're going to be walking slowly up into construction, while Kung Fu lands a good nade onto the smoke of Fua. No ADSs or will mine magnets to save the smoke, and now Kung Fu will be continuing that Freezer pressure. Slash has fallen back behind the washing machines. Cosmic has retreated over to the janitor closet, and now this attacking pressure is continuing to build, but this split take is coming from an interesting position. It's usually a lot more cohesive, at least, but it's seeming that it's very split. You've got players over in Freezer and you've got players pushing in Pillars. Not a usual crossfire, but one that could work out if done well. But if OK State can capitalize on this weird positioning from this defense, it could go very well. Konoma, the double kill. He does it, looks for 3, but denied. Slash will find it instead. And it's all up to Issues with no support from any teammates. Cosmic will deliver the ace to the grave, and round number 10 is in the hands of OK State.
Yeah, Oklahoma, I like the idea of bringing Jack Whiskey and Issues on the outside there, alt walking, being stealthy, maybe a late blank, if you will, and the I've tied it up. Oklahoma State did a very good job playing with what was in front of them, not getting too antsy when it comes to overextending, especially in late periods of the game. I'd like to see Oklahoma go back to being a little more aggressive. I think that's where they are better. Of course, Turks has been the spear point of the aggression so far tonight, so losing him was huge at the start of the round. But I'd like to see Oklahoma in the end be more aggressive, because I think that's where they are more dangerous in their wins.
I think that is a great point, Barrett. And I also do want to mention, though, the odd take that Oklahoma tried to make happen in that previous round. I mean, normally, if you're attacking Supply Room, you want to pressure from J Bunker, get some players in Pillar, and maybe open that E-Box hatch to get some vertical pressure going. A player in Freezer, but a player is appropriate. But if you're going to put 2 players in Freezer, it seems like you're going for that Laundry side take, that west side take, and that is not what we saw, or that south side take rather, but that's not what we saw whatsoever. The 2 players in Freezer attempted to establish some sort of wonky crossfire, maybe onto the double door of Supply Room to assist the Pillars push, but that really wasn't the ultimate strategy that would find them success. Of course, they had no support once those players got cut down. It really seemed it was a little bit out of balance for Oklahoma, and OK State did a good job of utilizing that fatal funnel of that freezer doorway and utilizing some good micro positioning to find themselves a round under their belt. So the 2-round deficit that OK State were facing is no more. In round number 11, we're sitting at 5-5. And once again, the roam presence is a big factor as Slash will be taking up the reins of that roam, assisted by Konoma. Oh, and a big pick on the board. Konoma will find Turks. That is a monstrous pick. You've lost your top frag and you've lost a ton of utility if you're this Oklahoma team. It is going to have to get very clean, very fast from them if they want any hope in this round.
Yeah, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, getting up to the 2-minute mark. Of course, Oklahoma losing Turks there. Huge pick by Konoma, but right now already down a man advantage when you already kind of seem to be playing a little tentative right now. I'd like to see the aggressive. Konoma going to be in a cheeky spot there under the stairs. Of course, they're stuck in master bedroom. It's tough for them. Of course, they're now out into the game. He's going to be opening up the floor. Kung Fu is with the hammer, just looking to see if he can get anyone peeking above. The thermite exothermic charge is going to go down. But of course, right now, they got to go. I mean, a minute 30 left here. You got a little bit of time, but right now, you don't want to be too predictable when it gets down to the end game. And so you're just going to be opening up the door here, or I'm sorry, the ceiling above in order to break in and get any lines of sight that would allow them to get any picks here to maybe even up the score here man-wise in the game. Of course, right now we're reaching the minute mark. IQ is going to be out here searching for some devices, but that's not going to help you as they're really running out of time here, looking to get any type of intel whatsoever. But they got to go at some point right now to make an attack.
They're struggling to do that clearly without that entry power that Turks provides them, and they're slowly working their way around all these corners. Konoma is happily contesting in Z and not being forced out quite yet, and a swing will find its target. Konoma, a brilliant shot onto Rush. Another big player off the board. Jack Whiskey, Kung Fu, and Issues are all that remains. Of course, you've got utility. You've got a thermite, but it's not looking too good as the goo mines will rain out. Konoma, hello? Another brilliant swing and a brilliant headshot on a Jack Whiskey. Kung Fu has no idea what to do, and the 4K is delivered by Konoma. Kung Fu, 6-foot grave is his only destination, and OK State, their destination, well, they've got their eyes on match point.
Excellent job by Oklahoma State there. Played very within themselves. They did not allow themselves to be overextended, even when they did feel a little bit of pressure. Slash, of course, taking initial shots at the start of the round. But, I think OU was just not aggressive enough. I think you talked about the old collegiate switch here as you're going to see potentially as we see Oklahoma State here on match point. But if you're Oklahoma, you have to go. I think if you leave yourself such little time, you become predictable, especially not even getting picks at all. Excellent job at Oklahoma State to get a flawless round in a key must-win round.
Well, a point I brought up in that round, and something that I think we've seen on display on several occasions, is the fact that this Oklahoma, at least pressure, and their decisive takes that found them success early on, seem to pretty much be dead without Turks at the helm. Because Turks on the entry role of the Ash had so much success early on, but since Oklahoma State have found a way to shut that down, it has really been decisive wins for OK State round after round. I mean, Oklahoma have not found the pressure. They lose the speed, they lose the aggression and the confidence without that entry player, and that is definitely something that Oklahoma are going to have to shake off going forward, because it is an entry fragger after all. Every once in a while, you are going to lose that player to those early engagements if you're not supporting them properly, if you don't have the drone work, and at the very least, you're not going to play those frags or play those trades rather. I mean, that will never work for you if you're not going to work off of your entry and play together as a unit rather than as individuals trying to hope you win your 1v1 gunfights and win in those crucial situations. So we're heading back upstairs. The top floor site is once again the focus of this round, and OK State are going to lock this down on defense. Oklahoma need to get the pressure going, and they need to waste no time in doing it.
Of course, we're going to see Rush here with the Blackbeard. I think that's an excellent choice. giving yourself any little bit of advantage you can during any bit of gunfight that you encounter. I mean, pick right now would be huge. Of course, winning with as soon as you get a man advantage, you are able to increase your chances of winning immensely. So we're going to see Inception and Slash roaming on the bottom right now. So of course they're going to be looking to deter any bit of maybe a flank here, as we're going to see Rush and Turks going in here. So keeping Turks alive is the mission. And basically, it's the name of the game for Oklahoma, as he's been basically the star of the team so far in this first map here on Oregon. So right now we're going to see, but yet again, we are back here to a minute 30, and not a lot has really happened right now. Of course, we're making some moves, looking around, getting some drones going. We're going to see Slash make a little bit of drone inception. Is going to be taking a little bit of bullets here. So already some work done by Oklahoma, as Fu is going to take damage himself. Kung Fu is going to take down Kanoma. So Kung Fu getting a crucial pick here to keep the map alive for Oklahoma. He's going to eat a little bit of damage for that, though, but that does not matter. He would rather have a gun off the board than none at all. So here we go, a 4v5 Rush working around with the BB shield. And with the minute left, you really have to get going.
Rush is playing this far too passively, but Inception is going to gift him a free kill. Slash will find the retaliating blow, and Inception will actually be res from that down but not out stage. So things aren't actually going too badly from OK State there, but as Fu was cut down, things are actually not going to look too good. You've got Turks still alive and still on this entry, and you've got Issues just clicking on heads. Inception falls, Slash finds the retaliating blow, as does Cosmic, the headshot delivered with the SMG-11. 2v2 now, as Jack Whiskey and Kung Fu are all that remains of this attack. But the diffuser has been dropped in the middle of sight, and Cosmic has their eyes on it. But unfortunately, Cosmic is going to look away at the wrong time. Kung Fu will grab that case, and now has the ability to get that on the ground. They have Kid's control firmly in their hands, and now the plant's gonna go down. Cosmic gonna run on through, but Jack Whiskey's gonna punish that, and now there's only one player remaining. It's Slash, and Jack Whiskey will finish it off. Round number 12 in Oklahoma's hands, and we are gonna see overtime. We are gonna go the distance on map number 1.
And that phrase right there, we are going to go the distance, is probably something we are going to hear all night, because we talked about it. Third map decider, Clubhouse, a map that we saw in week 3. We're probably going to see it tonight here, especially after seeing 6-6 on the first map. So get in for a long night, because it's going to be a good one tonight. But excellent job by Oklahoma establishing control and Kids. You really ensured able to get the plant there in end game, which ultimately got you the win to force overtime.
And the strategy that we're seeing here from OK State, it seems to be playing to their strengths, or at least to Oklahoma's weaknesses. They're using quite a bit of extended roam presence. They're putting players well off site and forcing Oklahoma to waste a lot of time in dealing with that. Unfortunately, on that top floor site, the off-site pressure is not essential to deal with when you want to get the site pressure going if you're in any attacking team. You don't need to go for map control. It's on the top floor. There are very few flanking opportunities. Sure, you can be on the top of white stairs, but that's a very common position in Oklahoma, or any attacking team is going to be aware of that. This basement site, however, is when things change, and OK State find themselves on this defense, the half that they have found that 4-2 split, as Oklahoma did on their defensive half. But as I said, that roam pressure is vital to clear on this bomb site compared to that top floor bomb site, so I would expect OK State to find a good bit of more success here. But Rush is bringing the ying, and that player could be simply to go for a direct site take and to prevent having to deal with an extended roam clear. I mean, we're going to have to see exactly how it's going to come to fruition at the end of the day. But right now, with 3 players positioned outside of J Bunker and the information already being obtained, it does seem that maybe a quick execute is on Oklahoma's mind.
Yeah, and Inception opting to stay more at home here. Of course, you mentioned it. They don't have to really worry about the roam clear if they're just going to stick to the basement. Inception we've seen so far tonight, an excellent time waster, and basically a pest in the Oklahoma attack here. So we're going to see Rush, not a Candela in his hand, but a smoke. Of course, going to be burning out the Mai. Kanoma's going to be playing pillar here, so he's going to be basically the first line of defense for Oklahoma State. His shield's going to get taken down by the breach, but he still has that pillar he can work off of in order to prevent the Oklahoma attack. Selma Charges is going to be opening up the wall, and Blue Bunker and Rush is going to take advantage of that as he is going to swing in and take out Kanoma. So excellent job there, taking down a very good player for this Oklahoma State team. And a minute 30 here, this tack is what you would like to see. A little more action is being played right now.
Well, I mean, Rush with the LMG, you could just hold down left click and just walk into sight. That's exactly what he did, and that's exactly why that first kill was delivered. And now the Candela dump will go out with very little utility to stop it. And here comes Rush, holding left click once again. The Toxic Babe is going to come out, but it's not going to deliver anybody to their grave. In fact, Fua is going to have to do that himself with the SMG-11. Looking for more shots, but can't control the recoil. Inception finds one, but Jack Whiskey found Slash just prior. Issues finds another. A 3v2 now as Inception and Fua are forced to back off and play this a bit more passively. But Inception is off the site, no support for Fua, and Fua is gone. Inception finds one, but has to find two more hungry attackers. It's a post plant now. The shots are found onto one, but Issues is playing this prone angle. The pre-fire lands. Inception, the triple kill. Only one more to find. It's a 1v1 between Inception and Rush, both on 50 HP, but it is a post plant. Inception has to walk on into the site, and Rush was ready for it. Oklahoma found attacking success in round 13. Things are looking very good for them going forward onto their defensive round.
And, you know, if Inception was going to prevail, I was about to say, once you kill him, the team dies. But, of course, not able to get the job done. Excellent job by Oklahoma, ramping up the aggression and the tempo, getting the crucial the crucial overtime point to put yourselves into match point. But yet again, we see there at the minute 30, that minute 30 was way different from the last two rounds of minute 30, where they were still trying to get into their attack, or they were still trying to execute there. I mean, we had pillar control, we had bunker control, supply room was opened up into, you had Ace opening up the wall. So everything was working for you in the terms of Oklahoma. But as Oklahoma State, you have to mimic that now and push the tempo even more.
I mean, yeah, tempo is the word for it. Tempo is perfect because that's exactly what Oklahoma established and controlled in that previous round. They did not go for the roam clear that they have been hugely unsuccessful with for most of their attacking rounds. They went straight onto the site. The Ying allowed them to do that, and the frag simply just rolled on through as a result. A brilliant adaptation for Oklahoma. Just excellent work on that change, realizing that the roam clear is not something that they can do successfully here on Oregon, at least tonight in this particular series. And so they're going to go for that direct pressure. And now the site is theirs to defend. I mean, the sides now switch. We are in overtime, and it is overtime match point. OK State have to find some attacking success here. I mean, looking at how they performed on this site in the past, they found 1 of 3 successful attacking rounds here. 2 of those 3 went in the favor of Oklahoma. So based on those past rounds, Oklahoma no doubt have the advantage here, but OK State, well, I was gonna say have some potential, but Turks is gonna pretty much eliminate all of that potential right away. Slash, the Blackbeard is gone. Fua, the IQ is gone. 3 players remain. Of course, they are the big fraggers. 12, 13, and 14 kills, respectively, for Inception, Cosmic, and Kanoma. But they're going to have to find more than kills. They are going to need to take this map control, and they're going to have to take this site control, but with no crossfire, with everyone stacked up here on J Bunker, and with Rush, or well, Rush was standing in their way, that's going to be a bit of a problem. Cosmic finds another, though. That's Turk's going to be cut down, and all of a sudden, things are back on equal footing.
Yeah, 3v3, just after that quick exchange here, making everything even as we hit the 150 here on the clock. So Oklahoma, for a brief moment there, you thought they had this thing in the bag, but of course, that is not how R6 works anytime. So Inception is going to be swinging around here into Electric Room. Going to shoot the concussions over in the laundry room, who was previously notified by the drone. So Jack Whiskey is going to get concussed out. And so right now, you have control. And of course, yes, Cosmic's going to be putting down the plant, or at least faking it. So Inception is going to throw out the Toxic Babes. Not going to connect with anyone, though. So Cosmic is going to get the plant down. just baiting out the Nitro cells left and right. Kanoma is going to take down Kung Fu. Jack Whiskey's going to go down by the hand of Inception. Cosmic's going to lay down the diffuser. Issues all left to prevent himself, you know, trying to get the win. The round going to be a win with 35 seconds left on the clock. Issues has got his work cut out for him.
He's going to have to find some crazy aggressive positioning here, but Issues is simply playing this a bit passively. Inception and Kanoma, or Cosmic rather, they're positioned in this post play, but Inception's positioning was known and was eliminated. It's all up to Cosmic. 15 seconds left, just has to stall out this time, but Issues has to find this pick. They're going to go back and forth, but it's Cosmic who prevails, and it's OK State who take round 14. A brilliant retake attempt from Issues, but one that Cosmic said that he was going to shut right on down. It is round 15, and simply, while I would say I can't believe we've come this far, well, I can believe we've come this far. These Oklahoma teams love round 15. It seems that we always see round 15 when OK State is one of those teams in play, and that is exactly what we are going to see here. It is OK State on the defense for round 15. Looks like they are opting for that basement site once again. I mean, Barrett, talk to me about the change they are going to have to make on this basement site if they want to come out of this with a win.
You know, I really think the important thing right now, of course, you know, we saw Inception in previous rounds be such a thorn in the side of the Oklahoma attack with his roam game. But right now, I mean, you really have to worry about Blue Bunker. That is how they won. Oklahoma won last time they went down to the site. They were able to open up the wall, and we saw Rush just eat with the LMG of Ying. So of course right now you're going to have to make some attempts. You know, you have a proximity device there in order to alert them, but right now you are going to have major wall denial, as we see Akai is going to be here placed just to the adjacent wall. But right now you're going to have to deny that Blue Bunker, because they basically walked in and took the site and baited all the charges out and was able to secure the win. Excuse me.
Well, something I do want to take note of is I think we saw the thought process there of both of these teams on display in the pick phase. Rush had the Blackbeard shown in the reveal phase, but then 6'd over to the Ying. Kanoma had the Wamai and looked like he was going to 6 over to the Wamai or 6 off the Wamai because he said, oh, wait a minute, there's no Ying, but everyone in his ear said, hey, listen, it's time to bring those pancakes. We need them if they bring out the Ying. But for some reason, unbeknownst to anyone in this lobby, to myself, or to anybody, Kanoma is going to make a critical mistake, deciding to challenge on J Bunker, and Rush will take him out. That means those pancakes that are vital to saving this defensive performance, not to mention the gunning talent that Kanoma is bringing to Oregon, is off the table early. That is your blunder in round 15. Your blunder has already happened, and now Oklahoma, only thing they have to do now is capitalize on that mistake.
Yeah, and we see now Blue Bunker is basically free real estate, as we're going to see basically Oklahoma walk in here, so they have stairs control. I don't think they know they have pillar just yet. The drone is coming out, though. Jack Whiskey's going to let them know, hey, you can walk into sight here. But right now, big blunder, absolutely, for Oklahoma State. Very uncharacteristic of Kanoma. Swing out there and challenge. No intel position. We're going to see Rush peeking back and forth on pillar. But right now, if you're Oklahoma, you just need to bait out. You don't even have, you have a Nitro cell you have to worry about from Cosmic. But other than that, you just have to bait out the Nitro cell in order to ensure yourself a win, barring any gunfight that'll lose you man advantage.
Well, the Toxic Babes will be the first thing baited out. They're going to rain on towards E-Box and try to delay this push even more. But Rush is going to attempt to throw one Candela, or at least tease it for now. Just going to look down the sights and pressure onto this site. But all Rush has to do is roll a Candela around the corner, and Cosmic will be no more. Cosmic, hoping to save his own life after the drone spotted his position, gonna rotate away, misses the shots, but finds his life in his own hands. Cosmic now with full flash is gonna have to hold this corner, and Rush will take him down. The headshot delivered, but here comes Fua trying to clutch this out for the team. He'll take down the diffuser. Here comes the flashes. He looks for the next one. He'll find it. That's a triple kill for Fua. Only 2 more to find, and Fua looks like he could do it, but no. Turks is gonna shut that on down. Inception is all that remains. trying to add to his 13 kills here in round 15. Church is going to go for the plant. Inception drops him down and looks for the second, but it's Jack Whiskey with the coverage. And Oklahoma will take round 15. They will take map 1, and they will take not only Oregon, but their opponent's map pick, of course, OK State. They wanted to end up here, and things did not go in their favor.
Jay-Z, I thought we were so close to seeing the FUA storyline play out here in the final round 15. We're going to see a massive clutch, but that was not the case. Excellent job by Oklahoma. You can't even be angry at the map pick right now if you're on Oklahoma State side. These two teams know each other, so great job by the Oklahoma side. And if you're Oklahoma State, you have to come out with a vengeance right now, which I expect they are going to do. Of course, we're probably going to see, I think you called it the college switch or the collegiate switch here, where they're going to see both maps taken, or their own maps taken, if you will. But excellent job. I am loving this. This is only the first map. Excellent job.
Yeah, if we see the collegiate special, as I like to call it here, I mean, that's exactly what OK State need to do now, because they are fighting on the back foot in a playoff bracket that they were favored to go the distance, but they forgot that Oklahoma is a very strong team, and Oklahoma is standing in OK State's way between them and between that round of 8 matchup. But we're going to have to wait just a few minutes to see exactly how it is going to play out on map 2, which will be Cafe. So grab a drink, grab a snack. We're going to be here for a long night, and stick with us. We will be right back.
Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. Say you're sorry. Oh, maybe I'll leave. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill.
In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and we are bringing you here this fantastic matchup between OK State and Oklahoma. Once again, my name is Jays Wills, and Barrett is joining me on the desk. And I mean, Barrett, we saw an incredible map one. It went all the way to round 15, but unusually so, it was not OK State who took the round 15 win. It was Oklahoma, the underdogs here, who found themselves the footing to go ahead and take OK State's map pick of Oregon. So things are looking like it could be a bit of an underdog story here for Oklahoma, now going over to their second map of Cafe, Barrett.
Yeah, Oklahoma, of course, set out here. Oklahoma State opted to pick that map, and maybe Oklahoma maybe did the 200 IQ I was talking about off the top of the show here. Maybe giving a fake or learning some intel about Oklahoma State, so they were able to exploit that. But of course, we get to round 15. An excellent finish, an excellent job by both teams. But you mentioned footing, Jay-Z. Oklahoma State's got to have the IGL footing now. Of course, they probably didn't have that in the first few rounds of attack, but nice job by Oklahoma. But Oklahoma State's going to have to come out here on defense to start, if I believe I'm right, and they are going to have to lock it down and basically set the tone and give themselves an advantage as they are before they switch sides to attack.
Yeah, we're going straight into our game. We're going to go right on in to Cafe and right on in to our ban phase here once again. That first ban on the board is that Thatcher. Nobody wants to let the laser sight hating operator a part of this matchup. Blackbeard going to be the ban. That is a very smart ban from the side of Oklahoma because we know Slash loves to bring the Blackbeard, especially here on Cafe. And on a map with lots of window repels, lots of strong head glitching positions, Blackbeard is a very powerful operator and a good one to take off the board. It does mean, however, Maverick is still in play, but Mira will not. That's going to be your first defensive ban, rounded out with a Goyo ban. So you know what you're dealing with in terms of operators for this map. But in terms of overall storyline, in terms of overall, at least what OK State needs to do to bring this one back, I'd argue that Slash is going to have to find his element just a bit more. I mean, unusually so. It was Inception, Konoma, and Cosmic to do all of the fragging work for the team, for the most part, in map number 1. Slash was shut down. I mean, at every turn, Slash was simply relegated to be an IGL and did not find a lot of traction on either side of the coin. And Slash is usually that star player we see pop off in those engagements, and that's the kind of player you need to go in a 1v1 against an Ashe of Turks and really just deliver Turks to his early grave, because Turks was such a potent force in map number 1 and something that needs to be shut down unless the underdog story is indeed going to be complete, unless OK State is not going to have that very answer. But on Cafe, they are going to have to do it. We are going to need to see the collegiate special from them because they are now fighting for their lives in this map.
Yeah, and you mentioned Turks coming out here with the aggression. Excellent first map for him. He's going to look to recreate that here on Cafe, but maybe the mental burden of the IGL is maybe a problem for Slash tonight. Of course, he has a map under his belt now, and maybe looks to maybe settle in that role of being an IGL. But as you know, with everything, mental is such an important part of any performance you are trying to do. So, we're going to see if Slash can overcome that. He's going to be on the Mozzie again, so he is very comfortable with that. Probably going to be a roamer, but nice job for Oklahoma. But Oklahoma State is going to have to look to set the tempo here on defense in order to push it to that third map that we predicted at the top of the show.
Well, something we also are going to have to pay attention to, and something that we were roughly able to predict, Barrett, was Fua and the importance of his performance here on this series. And unfortunately for him, in map number 1, he just could not find his groove. And I know that Fua is a very competent player and one that can absolutely perform at the level of all of these players here. Unfortunately, whether that's the role he was assigned or simply because maybe the mental game isn't there. Maybe he's a bit nervous, filling this pretty big deal spot on a roster favored to go very far in these playoffs. Konoma is going to be the first player to challenge, at least in this round. That's going to be Turks contesting on this top-down clear, as the bomb site is, of course, on that second floor. Slash is holding down this vertical extension as much as possible, supported by the Jaeger, but that's soon going to be a lot easier said than done. The pressure is continuing to build, and this pixel shield is going to be a vital part of that hold. The Jaeger has the ADSs to support him, has a deployable shield, and has the 416 in hand, quite a powerful gun. Inception will be providing that intel, but the intel will not be enough to save Konoma from the grave. Slash is going to hope to find an answer, looks for the shots on 1, but now his position is known. The drone is going to come out, and Slash has been spotted, so he'll be rotating around towards that first floor. But the Valk Cam will do exactly what it does best. It will provide those soft pings, and the C4 will rain up from below and will send the sledge to the grave. So with 1 minute remaining, with top floor control finally secured, it's all about the vertical pressure now. It's all about forcing those anchors off site and extending your attacking pressure onto the site itself.
Yeah, making it up to the 45-second mark now. Excellent job by Rush to just peel off of White stairs there. Not run into a gunfight. I think we saw that a little bit too much of him maybe extending himself out into gunfights. We're going to see Cosmic take a little bit of damage. More damage coming down from above as they've opened up the top floor. Oklahoma has with its vertical control. Jack Whiskey looking to roam and get a little pick off of White stairs as he sees it open up here. So excellent job by Oklahoma State, giving a little bit of visual cues, as Rush is going to get a double kill here. 2v3 in favor of Oklahoma. Just as I say that, Issues is going to go down. Rush is going to pick one. It's going to be a 1v1. The diffuser's going to have to go down, but it does not matter as they are unable to get the plant down. So Oklahoma State starting off just how they wanted to, winning this first round, and Slash doing an excellent job of staying alive.
Yeah, the time was the problem there for Oklahoma. It took them a bit longer than they would have liked to get the vertical control, and with the diffuser out of their hands, the diffuser could never go down on the deck. The time expired without those fatal kills, those final kills rather, being delivered. We saw a couple of interesting moments. We saw Inception on the Valkyrie over-aggress on that reading room door and got punished for it, but Slash found his groove, at least on round 1, played very smart behind the bomb chassis in Fireplace Hall, and played it passively, knowing that the diffuser was not in pocket, that the diffuser had to go down on the ground, and he could just save his life, cower behind the bomb, and everything would be fine. Not to mention, that was in fact a cheeky tertiary bomb site play to start things off. Not something we would expect to see, but it did work out in the favor of OK State. Maybe that was a bit of trickery, or maybe that was simply their preferred site on this map, but regardless, a brilliant defense on that bomb site will lend themselves now to that 1-0 lead, and now they'll be heading to that top floor, to this bar and cocktail site.
Yeah, and of course, Oklahoma State dropping the first map. You want to maybe pull out something here that'll give you an advantage early on the next map. And of course, going down to that tertiary bomb site, throwing a little bit of a curve. Most teams predict this site right here, the 3rd floor on cocktail. A lot of teams like to go to this one here, so Konoma opting to set up on the Pixel Peak there will look to recreate his job of being a time staller again, hopefully keeping his life alive this time, but nevertheless did his job last round. So right now, Oklahoma is going to want to do, as we see bullets fly out into heaven, but no one's there. What Oklahoma wants to do is get vertical control, a top-down attack here, in order to establish pressure from above. Of course, very predictable. A lot of teams do that, but that's okay. Doesn't look like we're going to get a split approach. But right now, Oklahoma is just going to have to do what it's tried to do all along, is prevent themselves from running into a very low-time situation, which makes them a very predictable squad.
Well, the big time suck of round number 2 is going to be Konoma on that Pixel Shield. Not to mention, you've got some alibi holograms there to support him, quite a bit of utility, and that's a Warden. So Warden can stare into those flash grenades, stare through those smokes, and really make it harder to contest on that angle. And already, with a minute burned, we're going to see boots on the ground. That's going to be Turks, the first player there, and Rush is going to find Inception. Where did that pick happen? But a surprising pick, to say the least. Inception actually going to reveal his position and getting cut on down. Konoma, I believe that was in the bathroom there. Konoma was now is holding the shield that his fallen teammate at least used to be holding, and Konoma is that last line of defense between the piano control and this Oklahoma team. Turks, Kung Fu, and Issues are pressuring that. The deployable shield has now been dealt with, and piano control is all but surrendered for OK State. Konoma now forced to back on off. The nades are going to rain on through, and now the execute is what's in mind for Oklahoma. They've got piano control. They have this crossfire established from not only piano, but Nubalk, and now you just got to get that default plant. You've got Fua on the mute, who's going to be that first line of defense, at least for that execute itself, but all your other players are held up in cocktail. They're just waiting for this push to come through, and Cosmic will be using those evil eyes to delay it as much as possible. Kung Fu finds Konoma, though, makes it even harder, but actually the Maestro Cam will take one down.
Yeah, with 40 seconds left here, Fua looking to get a pick here and does on Turks. But right now, the walls are going to be opened up from that ace, though. So issues making life harder for Fua, who is stuck up in there in Freezer. Now Oklahoma has piano control. The Maestro cam was shot down, I believe. So nice job there. Slash going to take down Kung Fu. Slash maybe redeeming himself here as 15 seconds of hit. Flush is going to take down Cosmic. Jack Whiskey is going to fall to the hand of Slash. A 2v2 Issues has to plant the bomb. Baiting out maybe nothing. I don't know. Slash taking down both. I'm not sure what Issues was doing there, but excellent job from Slash as Oklahoma State takes round 2.
That is the Slash we are used to seeing. Incredible play from the Alibi. I'm pretty sure that was 4 kills for Slash, and 4 kills that really were the key. Without a doubt, the key for that round for OK State. It was all crumbling around them, but you put Slash just in their way at every turn, and the attackers, they couldn't do much. Slash cut down the entire attack aside from one player, and Fua did that, but really a brilliant performance by the Slash, by that captain who, like we said, needs to find his groove for this OK State team to find their groove overall as a unit. And with 2 rounds under their belt, we're not going to obviously read into it too much, but it does seem that that groove is, well, maybe not be found quite yet. It's definitely underway, or at least being discovered as we speak. And now on this 3rd bomb site, to complete the rotation, OK State will be heading back to this kitchen site. And Oklahoma, they're going to have to get a strong attack going here. Something that you would expect from them here would be a top-down clear. However, given their struggles with dealing with a roam from this OK State team, I would not be surprised if they go for a more direct bakery push, using that exothermic charge to open up that wall as fast as possible, try and remove those bandit batteries in some way. But unfortunately for them, with those bandit batteries in play, and without a Thatcher, and without, another hard breacher on the board, it is going to be a bit tough to get the direct bakery pressure going. You need a Maverick here. Every time, you need a Maverick if Maverick is unbanned, and Maverick is not banned. It is Blackbeard, and I believe it is Thatcher. Those are those 2 bans, and you need to be bringing a Maverick on this site, or at the very least, another hard breacher if that direct approach is something you have on your mind. And it seems that this white pressure, this garage pressure, is going to be very direct. No top-down clear for the time being. It is going to be a full Freezer send, and Turks is going to be looking to contest this whiskey bar from tables, but no frags on the board just yet.
And I thought I was going to say this before the round had kind of took formation here, that they were going to try to get second floor control and able to establish dominance up there and break open the ceiling with Sledge, but it doesn't seem like that's the case at all. So you're right, not bringing the Maverick here is kind of clueless to me. I'm not really sure what the plan is there, as we see a party is being had in the white stairs. So Kung Fu's going to throw a frag over, and in the attempt to get the bandit charges, he does. An excellent job there. Cosmic's going to be waiting on the other side of that wall, though, as now it is able to be penetrated, as we're going to see the exothermic charges rain out here. So Cosmic going to be holding up here. Hopefully not another frag is going to fly over and kill Cosmic. Flash is going to go out, but Issues right now just has his job to open up the wall. We're going to see Konoma here on a flank. One shot, the kill here. The air jab goes off, but not enough to protect Kung Fu, as Konoma puts a bullet in his hand here. So Issues now is scared as all get out, as he's got to worry about someone flanking behind him. But right now, you are looking at a very interesting spot here for Oklahoma, as the minute has run down. You haven't had enough pressure, and just as I say that, Turks is going to roll in. Right now, you have to get going if you're this Oklahoma attack.
Yeah, and the attack is, well, getting going by finding the kills on these over-aggressive players, despite being unable to hard breach the Freezer because of brilliant impact tricking from Cosmic and the lack of a Maverick or Thatcher. This attack is actually finding quite a bit of traction, and now all that is left is to send it through this double door. Cosmic wielding this Alda is going to make that very challenging to do, and with utility being burned left and right, it is going to be hard to force Cosmic out of this position. This is going to be a fatal funnel if Oklahoma are not careful. but Turks is going to be that first player to challenge. This is exactly the player you want in this situation. Slash over in Big Bake's going to find one, but Cosmic was indeed cut down by Turks. That is a huge pick, and now Fua has to hold down this side. Issues will finish the kill on a Cosmic. Fua and Slash are all that remains, and Issues going to be going for that Java plant. Fua's going to throw a Toxic Fade down, but it's going to be too late. The plant can be stuck. Slash is on the ground. Fua has to clutch this up. It is a 1v3 post-plant situation for the smoke. He's got to find the frag. He's got to find these toxic bays, but off the mark a little bit. And he's actually looks like he might be going to force this res. This could be good, actually, because Slash now has ample time to assist the smoke in this retake. But Issues is aware of that. That is Fua off the board. It is Slash with 20 HP left to do the rest of the work that Fua has left behind. And it is simply impossible. Issues finds the kills, and Oklahoma take a round that really could have gone either way, but OK State, I'm not going to use the word throw because that's not what it was, but it really was a round that OK State absolutely should have won. You cannot allow a double door send to be the winning factor for any attack.
Yeah, I'm wrong. I thought Oklahoma was being very stagnant with their attack, but as soon as I say that, a pick comes out from Brown Stairs, and then they're swinging through double doors. I think that's crazy, but excellent job by Oklahoma to establish that, to get through the double doors there. Not a common way to win that site, especially here in the CR6 setting. Of course, they didn't even get Freezer open. White Wall wasn't even open, but that did not matter. So they were able to prevail and make this thing not get out of hand too much, making it 2-1. Of course, they're still going to have to go in here, but they did not allow Oklahoma State to get the full cycle there in the first round of.
And you gotta give it up to Turks, though. I mean, pushing in double door, staring down Cosmic holding an 81 bullet Alda in your face and winning that gunfight is surprising to say the least, but is simply indicative of how strong Turks is tonight and how strong Oklahoma are coming out of the gate, despite the lack of a Maverick, despite being denied the hard breach on Freezer. They still were able to push in that double door, find those frags, get the plant down, and win the round. I mean, that takes quite a bit of maturity from any team. As much as you would highlight the fact that OK State should have taken that round, sure, but you have to highlight as well how strong Oklahoma themselves were at taking that bomb site. And most teams in that situation, I mean, as I was saying, it was crumbling all around them, but despite that, they sent it in, they found the frags, and they simply won those gunfights. Impressive, to say the least, and that is why they have taken now one attacking round under their belt, and they are now on the hunt for more.
Yeah, so excellent job by Oklahoma to get that done for them. So, but they're going to look to tie it up here as they, I don't think they definitely know where the bomb site is now, where they're just trying to get vertical control now. But Kanoma changing up where his shield is, not really put in a pixel spot now, but ultimately a spot where you are able to peek in and out of, as Turks is going to be known of that. So he's going to have to worry about Kanoma again. I think we've been saying that all night, either Inception or Kanoma being the ultimate stallers of time here for this Oklahoma attack. So attempting to get vertical control, an excellent job, is just as I say that, Kanoma takes down Kung Fu, swinging outside there from Piano, and Inception, nice job again there with a excellent throw. So right now, 5v3 in favor, unless barring this gunfight, but 5v3 in favor of Oklahoma State. You needed that. Slash doing what he does best, clicking on heads as he takes down Turks, and Oklahoma's attack is looking to fall apart.
Yeah, only 2 attackers remain against 5. It's looking very good for OK State here. Issues are going to hope to claw this one back. He's got the AK-12, a very formidable weapon, but something that's going to be hard to challenge against this deployable shield. He'll try to open it up with the Selma charge, but Kanoma, he was very prepared for that. He knew that was the only play the Ace had, and he cut the Ace down. It's all up to Jack Whiskey in a 1v5. The pre-fire, a brilliant shot onto Slash. That is one pick, but now he's stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Doesn't have the diffuser, isn't even on the right floor as the bomb site. Simply, this is how many impactless kills can Jack Whiskey find before this round concludes. He'll try to flash this player over on this shield, but Konoma has backed off onto the white stairs. He's going to play this passively, allow Jack Whiskey to dig his own grave here. Inception already used that C4, already found some kills with it, so that will not be a factor. Cosmic going to retreat around over to circle here, and we'll be waiting for any inevitable push. But with 10 seconds left, it's just going to be dropped down into Killer and find the grave for Jack Whiskey. Cosmic will deliver him there, and OK State, they find round 4, and they find themselves 2 rounds up in that 3-1 overall round split.
And JC, you haven't made your spiel, or not spiel, but your speech about adaptability yet. But we saw that from Oklahoma State. They're changing up where they were placing that deployable shield on white stairs. You know, now known the pixel peak. Excuse me. You know, they putting that instead of in the doorway this time, making it a different look for these attackers. And ultimately, Konoma doing what he does best is fragging out tonight. So great job by them. Of course, that puts the attackers on their toes and not very sure of where that deployable shield is going to be, but a nice job by Oklahoma State.
Defenders, protect your bomb.
Yeah, good job there and a valiant effort from Oklahoma, but at the end of the day, it was OK State, of course, who really just eliminated that push at every turn, like you said, Barrett. So in round number 5, it's Bar and Cocktail that will once again be the focus after another successful reading and fireplace hold. A surprising sight to find so much success on, but it's working here for OK State. I mean, the part of the beauty of those tertiary bomb sites and why they're so fun to actually watch and actually get to see played is because not only are they tough sites to defend, but they are the sites that attackers have the least experience actually attacking. And as such, those attacks can struggle. The time management can be a problem, and that's what we saw in that first round in round number 1, and that is kind of what we saw there in round number 4 as well. But this is Bar and Cocktail. This site went in OK State's favor the last time we were here, and it got a bit dicey though. Slash had to find that 4K to pull his team back from a deficit, so now Oklahoma, all they have to do is continue that early success, continue the brilliance they had of pushing out Konoma from the pixel position, but only then do they need to eliminate Slash. They have to prevent themselves from being caught out by the alibi, caught out in those tough situations, and something that they will no doubt be attempting to do here as we get underway.
Yeah, I think the key word we've been saying all night is tempo, 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 especially for this Oklahoma attack. We've seen points throughout at least this map and the last map of where they become too predictable at end game points of the match because they wait too long to get the execute going, or they try to, try to feel their way out a little bit too much, maybe scared of the roaming presence. Of course, Konoma going to be holding it down here on the pixel peak again, changing the spot of that deployable shield, which is so good, especially on that defense, because you don't get predictable on your own end. So a nice job there by Konoma. But right now, if you are Oklahoma, you've almost hit the minute 30 mark. Bullets and exchange really hasn't happened yet. You're going to have to change that.
Yeah, we talked about the time management before, and it looks like it may very well be a problem again. You've got 90 seconds off the clock, and you do not have piano control. Only now has that piano to red wall been opened. Fua is very comfortable to just hang out here in Freezer. The walls remain hard. Konoma has backed off slightly to play this a bit more passively, but still has utility. Still has a deployable shield, not to mention multiple deployable shields, and the absolute courage to stand up, pre-fire through a smoke, and find a kill. We're gonna have to check the moss on that kill, but a brilliant one to say the least for Konoma, and now Turks is gonna have to find some traction back for Oklahoma. He was worked up there in bar, but he's gonna back off that position and wait for the attacking pressure to mount. But Slash shuts it down again, and another Konoma is gonna find one on the board. Rush and Jack Whiskey, all that remains. Oh, the flick! Konoma finds a brilliant shot onto Rush, and now it's all up to Jack Whiskey. A 1v5, the same situation as before. Konoma, a 4K, another one I believe. He found many in that first map. A brilliant performance from the Warden, and a brilliant defense overall from OK State. That is round number 5 under their belt, and a 4-1 overall split.
Canoma. I mean, we have been saying it so far the entire time on this map so far. Especially sitting on that pixel peak. Excellent job. I mean, holding it down by the shields. I'm not really sure wasn't wearing the glasses during the smoke. So he flicked in him, he beat him, killed issues through the smoke there. Great job there, excellent job. Slash has delivered a 4K. Canoma has now delivered a 4K. So awesome job by Oklahoma State. And if you're Oklahoma, we talked about it. Time management. We have to get going. We have to execute quicker because right now you are just running into the clutches of either Slash or Canoma. Because right now, you become too predictable at this case, where you're funneling in to choke points on the map because the defenders can only really think that you're going to be coming from only certain areas. So keep the tempo up. You'll be able to get around back here. Before one for Oklahoma State, this is what they needed to do on defense because this is a defending map. You are supposed to win on defense. That is how Siege works. So nice job by Oklahoma State, but if you're Oklahoma, you got to get going.
I mean, you mentioned it, I think, and said it perfectly, Barrett. I mean, it's a defensive-sided map, as many maps are, but on a nightly basis, we will see the dynamic of Cafe change. It is generally considered a somewhat frag-focused map compared to a map like Clubhouse, which can be so very strat-focused. So really, attackers can also find quite a bit of success here, but it seems that we are going to see that defensive-sided Cafe right now in round number 6, and we are once again going to see an attempt at a kitchen hold from OK State. Canoma is being extraordinarily aggressive from this very common angle. Rush just going to barely miss the shots and capitalize on that over-aggression. Kung Fu will now take that landing control, and Canoma has been forced to rotate all the way upstairs. But once again, for this attack, it is direct on-site pressure. They're not gonna bother with a vertical hold. But will they bother with getting this freezer wall open, or will they be successful with it rather? Only one of those bandit batteries has been found, and Cosmic has 2 impact grenades in his pocket. This time, we are not gonna see the Maverick either, but we have those Selma charges, which can periodically burn those impact grenades. But it is interesting, given the unfortunate situation for Oklahoma last time, that they are not electing to bring a Maverick. They're not going to elect to bring Habana or any other form of hard breach. So while that may be a slight mistake, they will continue on this pressure regardless. But with Inception finding the head of Rush, that very pressure is going to be harder to apply.
Yeah, and not bringing the Maverick again is curious. A curious decision again. I mean, we have this battery. You throw the frags out. The bandit charges are unable to be broken. Of course, they've now broken it up. But you've wasted so much time by trying to get this white wall open that you've kind of put yourself in a rut as we've just passed the minute 15 mark. Burke's, of course, going to be sitting in double door, going to prevent anyone trying to walk. I'm sorry, not going to prevent, but try to open up the axis here. As I think he knows someone is in coat check. He's going to swing on Inception. Canoma's going to find Kung Fu. Slash is going to get rid of Turk, so anyone protecting him. So Inception's going to fall from Jack Whiskey's hand here. So Issues left out here, and Jack Whiskey's down to little to no health at all as we've hit 45 seconds. Issues is going to have to make something happen here, or death is going to be his ultimate outcome.
Well, Canoma needs to be careful to not get over-aggressive on this White Stairs rotate. That's what Canoma did last time, and that is exactly what Issues is about to punish. But with 30 seconds left, Issues can no longer be focused on punishing that. Issues needs to pressure the site, as does Jack Whiskey, but Jack Whiskey is going to get tunnel vision on the roamer, forgets that there's a wide open rotate hole, and Canoma will find the punishment. Issues will take down Canoma, though finally removing the Jaeger from play, but Issues is stuck in a 1v3, forced to walk in through a fatal funnel of that freezer breach. Slash will find the fatal kill, and 5-1 is the split for OK State. Slash has found his groove. OK State has found their groove, and despite some very valiant efforts from Oklahoma, OK State emerge victorious on this first split, sitting at 5-1, a tremendous advantage now in their hands.
Yes, Oklahoma State clearly know how to defend Cafe. Of course, they are, this is what they picked. I'm sorry, no, this is not what they picked. So they are put on defense, excuse me. But, I mean, they came to the table, they did their homework, they know how to defend that site. I think we have to give big credit to Kanoma as he was the one getting the job done on most rounds. Of course, we had Slash
Attackers
with
need
the
to
4K
locate
in
and
one of
defuse
them,
as
but
many bombs
for the
as they
most
can.
part, Kanoma has 9 kills, Slash has 11, but Kanoma was the one who ultimately was the person wasting the time of this Oklahoma attack. But now that we have switched sides, of course, Oklahoma's going to opt to go to that third floor cocktail site, which very commonly all teams really do because they're able to have vertical control and only have to worry
Attackers have
about
located a
people
bomb.
coming from above. That's usually how people attack this site is from vertical. But for the most part, if you're Oklahoma, you gotta try to keep the, stop the bleeding, if you will, make this look better. Because if you give Oklahoma State momentum going into this third
5 seconds to go.
decider map, which was Clubhouse, I would be scared if I was
Attackers'
Oklahoma.
objective is to defuse the bomb.
Well, I'd argue that Oklahoma State, well, OK State rather, they have the momentum firmly in their hands right now. I mean, yes, they gave up one round, but they have a 5-1 lead, and this is not something that is given up easily. Of course, they take this one round at a time, so it's not going to get out of hand for either of these teams just yet. But if OK State are allowed just one more round, Oklahoma will then be staring down match point, and that is a very intimidating objective to overcome at the very least. And now it is, of course, OK State's objective to attack this site. The timing is going to be crucial. The efficiency of their take on this pixel position, which is actually not going to be held. Jack Whiskey instead will be playing that position in the bathroom only. Oklahoma adopting or deciding to only go with one of those deployable shields. Kanoma opting to send Kung Fu to his early grave. The over-aggression from the Jaeger will be punished, but Jack Whiskey, a brilliant retaliating blow with the MPX, and that will be Inception. The Zofia off the board. That's a lot of utility gone, and some utility that will now have to be made up by Slash and by Fua, who is now raining on some grenades in. Rush is getting quite aggressive on this window. Now with the M590, this could get quite dangerous here, but for Kanoma's sake, at least, thankfully going to back off that position and not contest that even further. But Rush is on the hunt for more, and with 90 seconds burned, this roam pressure has not been dealt with, and this is very dangerous for OK State.
Yeah, time management for both teams right now has kind of been an issue. Of course, this is the first round of attack as we're going to see Slash trade some shots back and forth. Nothing are just going to land for his sake here. He's going to burn the utility here. Jack Whiskey going to be holding up, not in the pixel peak, but in the bathroom. Rush is going to get a double kill with the Nitro Cell. So a big play there. Going to be stopping this Oklahoma State attack. 4v2 situation for Fua and Kanoma. Of course, we've seen Kanoma get it done all night here with the attack, so don't put anything past him just yet. But with 45 seconds left on the clock, they're going to have to make something happen. And of course, now we're going to be in a waiting game if you're on the defensive side, but if you're on the offensive side, you're going to have to make something happen. Fua going to be looking above red hatch. Hopefully no one's there waiting for him on red stairs. Kanoma's going to kill Turks here, getting his second kill of the round, making anything happen with 25 seconds left on the clock. Sitting on Pixel, Jack Whiskey is looking at him, saw him through the glass for a brief moment. I don't think he was able to make anything happen. He has the diffuser, 15 seconds left. Gonna have to get a plant down. Jack Whiskey's gonna kill Fua, and he's gonna take care of Kanoma as well, as Oklahoma gets a round on their first crack at defense.
Oklahoma with a brilliant setup. Not only the play from Jack Whiskey was excellent, but we saw that OK State struggled to decide how to deal with the utility devoted to that cocktail and piano hold. I mean, we saw two players go over on that east side rappel. Fua and Kanoma, I believe, were undertaking that role. They were throwing some frag grenades in, throwing some air jabs in, trying to burn some utility and trying to get that deployable shield dealt with. But they could not. The setup in bathroom was brilliant from Oklahoma, and OK State simply had no way to deal with it in time. The time ran out, and Oklahoma capitalized on those mistakes at every turn and capitalized on their brilliant use of utility and overall setup of that site. So that's one round under their belt now, and only 3 more to go to bridge this gap. We are going to see this kitchen hold and a little bit of a bakery extension. We're going to have that rotate hold between kitchen and that half wall in bakery, and Kung Fu or some player will be utilizing a deployable shield behind that position, no doubt. And with a lot of ADSs, that is going to be a very key power position for the defenders to hold. The only counter that OK State could bring would be sufficient vertical control combined with a push on that freezer side. But Barrett, look at what we're seeing here on the side of OK State. Fua is bringing the Maverick. Yes, Fua brought it in round number 7 as well, but attacking this bottom floor site with a Maverick, that is a big change that Oklahoma did not make on their attack. So something that we're going to have to see coming to fruition here.
Yeah, that's an excellent play by the OK State side. Another great play is Slash bringing the Jackal. Of course, Slash very comfortable with Jackal, but this was a problem you had to worry about with both teams, was the roam clear. Slash, of course, is going to make that all the easier, as he's going to be able to track his opponents, ably through walls for at least to get 3 pings, or his attackers to find out these roamers, to make pressure a little bit easier on your side, as you're able to deter any resistance coming from the second floor. It doesn't look like there are any roamers, though, as we see Rush maybe making his way up to the white stairs, but he will scurry back. But right now, you're right, Jay-Z. Them bringing the Maverick is so key here, as we're going to see Rush trading some shots back and forth. Jack Whiskey's going to take down Fua, so just like that, the Maverick is off the board, so the white wall might be safe here in the coming later parts of the game.
Yeah, Rush is now holding this very power position in VIP and is delivering those kills. That's Cosmic gone. Slash was not there to find the refrag. Inception taking a bit of damage. It's all going downhill because Oklahoma is putting OK State on the back foot here. OK State have no idea what to do. Sure, Konoma finds Jack Whiskey, but Kung Fu, playing the trade, will take down Konoma as well. It's a 2v4. You've got Slash with 11 kills looking to add to his total, but that is going to be hard to do with all this utility that has not been dealt with just yet. You've got Rush here in VIP, hungry for more with the SMG-11, and it looks like an opportunity will present itself, but Slash with the 2-time scope will have better vision in that situation and will find that kill. So it's a 2v3. OK State could absolutely bring this back, but Oklahoma have played this brilliant so far. They've played this very smart, and it seems that they have shown no signs of playing this any less gifted.
Yeah, 40 seconds left. Of course, Oklahoma doing such a great job, and they're going to do that right now as Turk's going to take care of Inception. So Slash is going to have to be the savior in this situation, as he is left. Going to get rid of the default cam. Of course, they now know where he is from, so defenders are going to adjust accordingly. Of course, now he's got 20 seconds, so he's going to have to make something happen. Flicking back and forth, but it does not matter, as Turks takes care of Slash, as Oklahoma wins round 8.
I mean, simply a brilliant defense once again from Oklahoma. They didn't go for anything crazy on a roam extension to that top floor. They simply set up that first floor in exactly the right way. Not only did they have the bakery extension that I mentioned early in that round, but they had the VIP extension as well. I think OK State read into the bakery hold just like I said they would have to. But unfortunately for them, they could not deal with the position in VIP. They could not deal with Rush, who was brilliantly playing that shield, a good application of utility, and Rush played it very well, was conscious of the pressure from that table's window, was conscious of the garage pressure, and you had Jack Whiskey supporting you from Whiskey Bar. It was too much for OK State to handle, and Oklahoma now look to complete the 3-round sweep, heading to this tertiary bomb site. The vertical control will be everything, and Oklahoma have proven that they know how to hold this top floor. I would expect nothing less from them on round number 9.
Yeah, an excellent job by Rush there. Interesting, hold there. We really don't ever see, at least commonly, a hold in VIP there for them to basically deter, give a little different look. We talked about that, Konoma doing that on Pixel earlier, so Rush doing just that on the other hand to return the favor, and they make it one step closer to tying this thing up, putting pressure on OK State to make a move here as they enter reading room here for the second, or for the site here in round 9. But of course, I think what you're going to have to do is deter the roamers right now, and Turk's doing just that. He's done so well all night. I think you're going to have to make sure that Jackal gets a hold of him, or at least his footprints, in order for this to be a difference in the round.
And we're seeing this info denial be so critical so far for Oklahoma. There's a drone they just snagged. Of course, it'll be taken down, but Turks has done a great job utilizing those Mozzie pests and utilizing this utility. I mean, Jack Whiskey is already on this shield in bathroom, is holding the same position that was such a power position for Oklahoma just 2 rounds prior. Now, his position is known, but it was known last time, and Oklahoma State had no way of dealing with it. They're going to have to deal with this swiftly, and Slash will look to deal with Turks. But it's a battle of the guns, and Turks will win that battle. 30 HP to his name is all that remains, but you drop Slash. That is a huge force off the board, and Inception will finally retaliate and take down the Mozzie, and this vertical extension is starting to crumble. But not if Rush has anything to say about it. Fua taken down off the board. The SMG-11 finds its target. So Jack Whiskey is still on this hold. Rush is still on this hold, and OK State have yet to establish the control. But Inception is going for the vertical play, but they still have to deal with these two players.
Yeah, and Cosmic's going to eat a shotgun there from Rush, who is still overextended there in white. So right now, the diffuser is down. He does know that, pinging it to his teammate. So Kanoma's going to be eating some smoke, so unable for him to even get the diffuser himself. Vertical play is still going to be a factor here, but they are not even going to be home, so Inception is not even going to be able to kill anyone. Kanoma is going to run through the smoke brave and he's going to basically eat a little bit of damage for that, but he's able to get the diffuser. So right now you have to go here as we hit 50 seconds on the clock, but Kanoma still has to worry about these two guys in white here, and he is not going to be able to do anything. I'm sorry, Rush is going to die here. So Rush is going to take care of Kanoma. Yeah, I was right there. So right now it's going to be a 4v1, and that's not going to happen. This issue is going to take care of Inception, and Slash is going to opt to use the pause.
Well, they're going to opt for a moment to regroup and coordinate, decide to say, hey guys, we need to take a step back and find some of that success, some of that coordination that they were able to find on those earlier rounds. I mean, we just have not seen them find their same groove on attack as they were able to find on that first bit. And we have simply, I mean, we haven't seen much from them on these attacks. Oklahoma are looking really strong. So this is OK State's opportunity to step back, regroup, refocus, and it is clearly an opportunity that they need because they are not finding attacking success whatsoever.
Yeah, and I think it's a mature play to do the rehost, to get, maybe you said, regroup. I think that's a very good job. I mean, you don't want to leave anything on the board, especially with playoffs and high stakes situations. I mean, these two teams know each other. So right now you have to think, okay, we have to pull out something that's different, something they maybe haven't seen. I mean, I'm sure they scrim all the time between each other. So right now, 5-4, Oklahoma is on defense. We talked about this being such a defensive map, of course, like all maps are. But right now, you have to, regroup as a team. Both sides, honestly, you're given this time to talk about, hey, this is what we need to shore up. This is what we need to work on. This is what we want to try to execute. But right now, I mean, this is what we asked for. This is what we talked about. Both these teams are so close. But I don't think anyone predicted that Oklahoma was going to come out here and potentially, I mean, it hasn't been done yet, to get a 2-0 on Oklahoma State.
I mean, this comeback is looking very real. I mean, it was 5-1 just 3 rounds ago, and now it's sitting at 5-4. The momentum was fully in the hands of OK State and has now completely been switched around. Oklahoma have all the momentum. They have a full defensive sweep. That's a 1-2-3, all those sites under their belt now. And so now you go into, potentially what could be these last few rounds of regulation, and you need to change things up if you're Oklahoma State. I mean, you mentioned my spiel about adaptability, and I think this is the perfect time for it because you lost your IGL. They're not on the team right now. You replaced them. I get that that's tough, but you're an experienced Siege player. Everyone on this team has a good bit of experience under their belt. Slash, the captain, a very commanding voice and a very strong leader. But you have to lead in each round and between these rounds and regroup your team and adapt. You need to make changes dealing with what Oklahoma are throwing at you right now. We have not seen adaptations for 3 rounds, and that is simply why Oklahoma is better right now. They are winning their rounds because there aren't changes. There aren't these necessary pivots that OK State need to make. And those changes, the ability to adapt on the fly, is what separates those good teams from the better teams, from the best teams.
Exactly. And I think that's what they're doing right now. Of course, you take the time to take a break. We see Fua has left. I'm sure he will be coming back, of course. But I think right now you have to understand, like, hey, this is what we want to do. You don't want your season to go out like this. Of course, this is you didn't pick, you lost in your map, but you're going to try to steal a map right now. We want the collegiate special. Um, but you want to keep your season alive any way possible. I mean, you want to pull out all the stops, all the tactics. Of course, you talked about adaptability. I think you may have been able to give the excuse early about saying, okay, our IGL isn't there. Of course, that is a very key part of your team. But right now, you need to buck up here, and you need to. This is our season, guys. Like this is, or at least our time here in CR6. This is playoffs, and this is when it matters.
It's dangerous to get complacent, and you worry that a favorite to take it all, they can get complacent. They can fail to practice or fail to review VOD on their opponent team, and maybe that's what we're seeing here. I don't know how much prep that OK State put into this, but it seems that Oklahoma have put in that work. They had some kinks that they worked out on map one, and they are continuing to work out those kinks in an effective and efficient manner on map 2. So right now, there's no reason to expect why Oklahoma would slow down all of a sudden or fail to continue to capitalize. The onus is fully on OK State here. They have to come back with that typical OK State dedication, that mentality to take it round at one round at a time and to grind it on back, because right now Oklahoma, they've got OK State's number. They are fully in control of Cafe despite being down one round. I'd say that Oklahoma are absolutely in the power position. 3 clean rounds on defense. They show no signs of slowing down. And on a defensive sided map, well, that's all you can expect. But thankfully, the rehost has now been completed. We've got Fua back in the lobby, and we can send it back on into the game for a conclusion of map 2, which is going to be, I'm sure, absolutely thrilling to witness.
Yes, ours hopefully coming in the chat. We're going to see the resume timer come out. So action is going to begin. Round 10. I am very excited for this. Like you mentioned, Jay-Z, I believe Oklahoma, I'm going to agree with you. Oklahoma right now is in the driver's seat to win this, to complete the upset. Everyone loves an underdog. I mean, you could call this, we've had bracket mania. We've called this maybe the March Madness of, it's not even March, but it could be the March Madness right now. Everyone loves an underdog of
Attackers need to
CR6 right
locate
now.
and
So
defuse
I
as
have
many
to
bombs
imagine
as
there are
they
people
can.
in the chat rooting for OK State, also those rooting for the underdog. And they are going to show right now, despite the rehost, that they are going to come out here and attempt to complete the Cinderella story.
Well, that Cinderella story is going to have to go down on this bar and cocktail site for this first attack. They were unable to much grip here last time they attempted it, and it's going to be all up to this change. What have they talked about in that hiatus that they just took? What is that key focus point, that focal point of their map? What is that one thing they're going to change? I mean, we're going to have to see something big here, because not only have they not found successful attacking rounds, but they really have not been close. Oklahoma have put up quite a thrilling shows so far on Cafe, and one that they will no doubt be looking to continue here. And Turks, tucked over here by Ticket and Piano right now, maybe looking to use some aggression to continue that very momentum.
Yeah, and we're going to see Jack Whiskey not opt to play Warden that he's played the last, I believe, 3 times on this defense here. So still opting to stay in the bathroom, but of course he's going to have a little more projectile coverage here. So he's going to have the pancakes and the ADSs in there protecting him, or at least and around him. Of course, that's not enough, though, as Inception says goodnight to Jack Whiskey. So already Oklahoma State taking advantage of the mini break here. But of course, we're still going to see Turks hanging there in Piano and Ticket. So excellent job by Turks here if he's able to pull off a pick here. But Fua, I mean, I think they're gonna know he's there though now, as his drone was taken only by one operator that could be. So just under the 2-minute mark here, Oklahoma State looking to increase the tempo here. Free fires through ticket smartly. Turks is going to evade that. So excellent job here from Oklahoma State to start. Oklahoma's going to have to get going just to keep the defense up.
Well, they've got the time on their side as well, Barrett, so playing this passively would be a good move for them. They simply have to wait, and Kung Fu will do that, and Inception will present the opportunity for Kung Fu to deliver that fatal blow. That's exactly what the 416 will do, and that's exactly what will happen with now 1:20 all that remains, and this OK State attack stalling out a little bit. They're trying to establish this control over Whitehall, but the pressure from Kung Fu is making that very hard for Konoma to actually get that going. An air jab tossed on through would do that, and finding Rush will definitely assist that as well. Turks is going to be cut down as well. The pre-fire through that bathroom wall will land the Mozzie on the floor. So it's a 2v4 technically, as the nade looks to finish off the Mozzie, but Turks will be sliding down Whitehall, possibly the opportunity to get revived here. This could be a crucial missed opportunity for OK State here if Kung Fu's able to pull off this revive, but Fula's gonna go for the, go for the kill on the down player, and actually Kung Fu is going to take him out and punish him for that very move. So now it's a 3v3. Things are even, and Kung Fu finding Cosmic, a triple kill for Kung Fu. He is on for the ace, and he is bringing Oklahoma what looks like it could be a round number 10. He'll find the quad. He only's got one more to find, and it's the ace for Kung Fu. A brilliant performance from the Jaeger that gives Oklahoma round number 10. The round advantage now neutralized, 5-5 the scoreline.
Well, if Oklahoma wasn't in the driver's seat, then they just took the car and drove down the road, because right now, tying it up 5-5, I mean, goodness sakes, Kung Fu with the ace is exactly what you want, especially coming out of a rehost if you are Oklahoma. Excellent job. It looked like Oklahoma State, especially getting the early pick at the start, was in line to win this round, win round 10, but nevertheless, the stifling defense of Oklahoma shuts down Oklahoma State.
And now in round number 11, I mean, what to say other than Oklahoma are putting on an absolute performance right now. They were really strong in that previous round, and on Kitchen, a site that they defended quite successfully just a few rounds ago, we have no reason to suspect otherwise. They have full control of this map right now, and OK State have to pull off one of their miracle comebacks here. I mean, of course it is even. It's 5-5, but I'm calling it a comeback because taking the momentum away from Oklahoma is going to be a challenge, to say the least. We are going to see a very similar extended setup. We see Jack Whiskey here prepping that rotate. We see Rush putting down that VIP shield, and we see that rotation into Big Bakery to establish the pressure from all sides. Now, OK State, they have to swiftly deal with either one of these extensions. It's either VIP or Bakery. Pick one, deal with it, get the site pressure going from there. Otherwise, Oklahoma could be well on their way to match point on the horizon.
Yeah, and I think I would opt to go Big Bakery here. I think you are so funneled down when you go into this white hallway here. Of course, we're going to see Rush there, again, who was so skilled with getting the shotgun kills with the M590. So, I mean, I think you have to worry about just that right there if you are Oklahoma State, because we see Rush here yet again. He's going to be doing an excellent job. I mean, he doesn't have the shotgun out just yet, but I mean, shots that nearly could connect if you think about it. Slash is going to take a little bit of damage somewhere, but yeah, I would opt to go Big Bakery here. Do a little bit of a change-up, if you will. Jack Whiskey is going to take a little bit of damage, but Konoma is as well, as they had an engagement there. But 2 minutes left. Oklahoma's got to do their job, and Oklahoma State's got to get the attack going, if you will.
Well, this is okay so far in terms of this clear. They've cleared the shield, now they just have to get quite aggressive. Rush is out of Toxic Babes, he's wielding a shotgun, push this man 2 at a time. That is exactly what Slash will do. Finally, the smoke is off the board. That is a big pick, but OK State now have no time on their side to wait. They have to get aggressive. Jack Whiskey finds one. Jack Whiskey will now get cut down by Kanoma, good retaliating blow, and finding the trade. Kung Fu looking to continue some more momentum after the brilliant ace in round number 10, but no shots connected just yet. But the Jaeger is clearly on the hunt for some more. His position is known, the freezer is opened, and so this crossfire is soon to be established, but oh my, the shot onto Inception from Kung Fu. What a shot. And now it's a 3v3 with a minute to go. Issues finding Kanoma. It's a 2v3. OK State, they have the advantage early, but once again, it's all crumbling down.
Excellent shot by Kung Fu there. That's the round changer right now, the momentum changer, as Cosmic's going to open that up, at least fake another wall entry here coming into freezer. So right now, I don't think we know he's going to go there. Fua left to here by himself in bar. They're going to have to at least coordinate attack somehow. You're going to have to, yes, drone out here to see Kung Fu. Of course, he hasn't moved at all. Kung Fu is going to be known. That does not matter, though, as Kung Fu is going to take down Cosmic. Fu is going to be left to himself here. Getting fancy with it. Nothing going to connect just yet. And the knife comes out from Kung Fu. So Kung Fu gets it done again, winning round 11, and Oklahoma is just putting it on right now as they are going to extend their lead, and maybe, I believe they're one match away from completing the Cinderella story right now.
Well, it's a little bit of a Cinderella story, but I guess calling it that would, be a little bit of an understatement to the strength that Oklahoma have not only had in the last week in round number 32 of the playoffs, but they've had all season. The reason they are seated so low overall in the bracket is because the Gulf Coast division in the regular season was arguably the strongest division in the Open League. You had the University of Texas at Dallas, you had OK State, and you had Oklahoma, all vying for that top position. And because Oklahoma had to fight against these two powerhouse Gulf Coast schools, or pseudo Gulf Coast schools, I guess you could say, they were not, overall seated as high as they would have liked. But last week, they proved that against Georgia Tech, that they deserved to be here. Georgia Tech was the 12th seed, Oklahoma the 21st seed. Oklahoma won that regardless, and they are well on their way to taking down the 5th seed, a team that is the reigning Open champions as well, a challenging team to beat. But Oklahoma, it is all clicking for them right now. They are putting on a masterful defensive performance, and OK State do not seem to have an answer for any of it.
Exactly what you just said, JC. Of course, we don't want to count anything out just yet. Both these teams really have, we've already seen round 15 on map 1. We could see this again. Of course, Oklahoma is in the driver's seat right now with being on defense on match point. Usually those two combinations result in a match point win for you, not a match point loss. But of course, anything can happen. As we know, both these teams know each other so well. It's apparent with the score being so close in both maps. But right now, if you're Oklahoma, you don't have to get cute. You really don't have a round to play around with, as we see Rush, a window being opened up in Window Hall. But you don't have to get fancy with it. Play to what you want to play, to your strength, play to your strategy, and ultimately get the job done to complete what you want to get done. If you're Oklahoma, OK State, of course, not doing that is what you want to do. Is Jack Whiskey is going to gun down Kanoma, but you want to basically recoup after that and put the pressure on Oklahoma to push this to overtime.
Well, that lack of an IGL for OK State is really causing them to crumble at every turn. The swing in on that stage window finds one in the grave, but Slash will eventually get that retaliating blow onto Jack Whiskey. Now, that is a very big frag because Jack Whiskey holds not only 9 kills under his belt, but a very strong power position over on that side. But here comes Rush on the flank here in Cigar, gonna catch one on the drone, and that's Slash gone. A brilliant decision from Rush, and that is a vital pick and a vital loss for OK State. Inception desperate to find the refrag, but Cosmic will eventually do that. Inception finds the flick onto Turks, and now it's a 3v2. OK State are not out of this just yet. Kung Fu and Issues are still in play, and they're both on the site itself. Of course, This is a tertiary bomb site. The vertical pressure has to come out, and they have to go and establish that first floor or second floor control as well. They have to get this pressure going if they want to force Kung Fu and Issues off these points. But that is going to be easier said than done. Issues has the Alda, Kung Fu the 416. Fu is going to be hoping to use some of that intel to the advantage of this OK State team, but with 45 seconds left, you need more than intel, you need site control.
Yeah, I mean, you also need picks as well if you're going to want to try to change the outcome right now, because with 35 seconds left, time is not on your side. The Alda is going to be left here anchoring on the site. Of course, we know how many bullets are inside that gun right now. So, I mean, you're going to have to worry. Hard pings are coming out. The defuse is going to go. Fua is going to go down from Issues. The Alda we just talked about. Cosmic is going to refrag that in an attempt to put the diffuser down. And 1v1 situation here. Kung Fu left versus Cosmic. Of course, you're going to have to swing very quickly, and he will do just that. Cosmic is going to kill Kung Fu. And, of course, we just talked about this. We are going to go to overtime so they keep their season alive. Oklahoma State gets the job done.
Whew, what a closing moment there. Wow, Inception missing the shots onto the Jaeger. That was an almost complete disaster, but Cosmic had the awareness to pre-fire that angle, and thankfully for Oklahoma State, or an Oklahoma State fan, they pulled that one out. I mean, now you're sitting at overtime once again, so everyone's predictions that we'd be seeing 3 maps all OT have, well, at least come to be accurate so far. But Oklahoma are trying to end things here and now. It is always dangerous to take OK State to that decider map. But last time, Barrett, we saw overtime. It was, of course, Oklahoma to prevail on round 15. And if you look at where we are on the side split, Oklahoma, they are on the defensive side. They are the ones with, I would argue, a tremendous advantage here, given how much success they have found on this defense.
Yeah, and they've relent to let this site go. Of course, it looks like they're maybe opting to change what they want to do unless, nope. Okay, so it looks like they're going to go back to the extension there. So great job by them. Of course, sticking to what they want to do. I don't really think they got cubed there at the end. I think they just lost a gunfight, which is, you know, it's a 50-50 battle there, especially on that swing there, out of reading room there. So great job by Oklahoma State. But if you're Oklahoma, you want to, you know, stick to your guns here, especially on this one. You haven't lost whatsoever. It doesn't look like we're going to see, unless I'm late to it, an extension by Rush into VIPs. So maybe changing it up here to give a different look to these attackers. I'm not entirely sure. He does place the deployable shield, so he will give the same look. So, of course, Rush is going to look to take someone, or at least a couple of people with him, on this extension, and Jack Whiskey will protect him from the north.
Well, the thing is, we're not seeing an ADS by Rush. There is a Wub, but that's one piece of utility that it takes to deal with Rush's shield. At that point, Rush is no longer going to be able to hold this position. I think this is the same setup they've been rocking every single time, despite that OK State have struggled heavily to deal with the smoke and this position. Now they may end up deciding to go over on this bakery side instead, but it does seem that that top-down clear will be the focus instead of that direct bakery take. I like this change they're attempting to bring out. The one thing I worry is that they are fully aware that Oklahoma like to just stay on that first floor. So how much does a top-down clear actually get you? You've wasted a minute now, but finally that vertical pressure is going to be starting, and those anchors are going to be forced to scramble around. At this point, you just got to win your ones, win those top-down gunfights if you want to bring this one back. But Cosmic, he's going to be positioned precariously here outside of Big Bakery. Inception finds one on Issues. That's a big pick. Turks is aware of the position of Cosmic, but is very content to hold behind this half wall. So much utility is devoted to this side. If Oklahoma State walk into this end, it could be very disastrous for them walking into the strategy that Oklahoma definitely want them to. But the Candelas will blind Turks fully. Here comes Cosmic. Kung Fu will actually swing to support, but he'll get shut down. Turks will shut down Kung Fu. Thankfully, he'll find Cosmic in retaliation for that, but the team kill is huge. He'll take down Fua, and his major blunder has now been equalized. 1 minute is all that left.
The problem is now for Oklahoma State is the diffuser is sitting in plain sight of a defender. And of course, if you're Turks, I would just watch that. You are protected from, I believe, a castle panel is behind you. So, and you have two ADSs there in Big Bakery. So opting to move around here, yes, of course you're going to get droned out, which is bad, bad, bad. But of course, you're stuck here. Slash really can't do anything unless you give him something to shoot at. So right now, with almost approaching the 35-second mark in the match, you have to wonder, Oklahoma State has to do something about this because they really don't have any choice. And the rotate hole is going to happen. Nothing's happened. But Turks is going to go down from the hand of Slash. So keeping the season alive. Inception's going to take down Jack Whiskey. But Rush is left to his own here. But of course, time is on his side. They have the diffuser right now in hand from Slash. But right now, with 15 seconds remaining, there's nothing really you have to do other than kill Rush here, who's done a very good job. And if this diffuser goes down in the hands of Rush, it's going to be really tough here. He's just going to have to hide. He's ratting away. He peeks, and he's going to go down, and that is it. Oklahoma gets the job done. They continue their stellar bakery defense.
I mean, wow. That is so many things running through my head there. Brilliant play from Rush in that clutch 1v2. I mean, great awareness to pull out the shotgun, take out the player coming through that small rotate, take out that player pushing up from that service side of the kitchen. Brilliant play from Rush. But you also have to talk about the not so brilliant play from those remaining OK State attackers. They did not play together. All Slash had to do was run around, go around to that Java side supported by Inception, and all of a sudden, it's a 2v1 in the same position. You can play the trade, play the refrag, and that's not what happened. They did not play off each other. Inception was a bit too far to support Slash on the push in. It simply comes down to the lack of decision making, the inability to coordinate that OK State seemed to be struggling with all night long. They are now staring down match point again. It is 6-7. Oklahoma can run away with this, but it is over to the OK State's defense. They found 5 successful defensive rounds on their half, so you would consider them in the advantageous position as well here.
Yeah, and interesting for them not to go down to reading room on the second floor site there, because they've had, I believe they had ultimate success the entire time, their time on defense with Kanoma sitting here with the deployable shield. Now, of course, we're going to have 2 deployable shields over here, one in bathroom, one on pixel. We're going to have to, for Oklahoma State's sake, you're going to have the Kanoma come out here with at least a very stellar performance here on this pixel peak, because ultimately that's going to be, at least in my prediction, as we see Kanoma, a spawn peak. So exactly, already doing what he wants to do right now. You know, he's going to have to be a stud on pixel peak there.
And you've cut down Rush. That is a big player to remove. Rush now, the Ash relegated to camera duty for the remainder of the round. That is a good way to start things off if you're OK State. The thing you now have to do, or not do rather, is give Oklahoma any traction remaining in this round, because we have seen from Oklahoma time and time again, despite the man disadvantage, despite the odds being stacked against them, they find a way to come back and take a round off your hands. Kanoma is getting a bit over aggressive here, doesn't have to be standing up and exposing himself to new bounce. He's got a deployable shield well in front of him and the ability to use all of that utility to his advantage. And now with a minute burn, the time starting to tick away, Oklahoma are starting to feel the sting of the clock. And as the execute, or as the site control continues to go down, it's going to be all about how much they can do in how much time.
Yeah, and Kanoma, his performance here, in you know, out of pixel there in the extension into cigar shop, another kill for him. So him already picking up where he left off on the defensive side, at least. So right now you're gonna have to do something here. If you're Oklahoma, you're gonna have to take care of Kanoma. It's point blank. You're gonna have to do something. Either as we see Kung Fu burning himself almost to death. Oh no, I'm sorry, the Eagle cam here gonna kill him, but not enough before Kanoma takes care of him. So a good try there, trying to get him out of pixel peak, but not enough. And the Maestro cam protecting Kanoma, if you will. just enough for him to stay alive, as Kanoma is still stuck on this position here just outside of White Bathroom. Of course, oh, he's very close to another kill, as he is already working on a 3K himself, but that does not matter. Slash is going to take care of Jack Whiskey, so one more is all is needed for Oklahoma State in order to push this to 7-7. Issue is going to be sitting outside. The good thing for him, though, he does have the diffuser, but I do not think he has enough gunpowder to win.
And he does not. Kanoma. That is another kill for Kanoma, and it is round 15. It is simply hilarious. It is. There isn't much you can say because
Can't write this.
you can't. I mean, to say that it starts as 5-1, then goes 5-1 on the second split, and then Oklahoma, who are looking so strong, just can't close it out. It's round 15. I mean, whatever you want to say, round 15 is here. We are going the absolute distance, and the only thing that could make this more storybook is, well, I'm not going to say it because that's going to put the caster curse on the match. But really, this is anyone's game at this point. But if you look at the attacking side, it is OK State the responsibility to attack, and all Oklahoma need to do is hang out, stop this push from coming through. Barrett, talk to me how you think this round can unfold.
I mean, if you're Oklahoma, you gotta feel confident right now. I mean, you've been so stellar on defense. You dropped a couple rounds, yes. But right now, this is your match. Like, this is your round to win. I think you need to show a statement here to say, hey, yeah, we were seated very low, and we didn't do so hot in the initial rounds here. But I think you are setting a statement to the people in CR6 right now to say, hey, we are a team to be reckoned with, and I think they've shown that, especially with Oklahoma State, a team that was so good last CR6 session, but the Open Champion, I think you called them. So right now, I think you just keep up what you're doing. 7-7. I'm not going to predict anything though, because I don't want to curse anything. Of course, you just want to stay, have the diffuser in hand, stay organized if you're Oklahoma State. But right now, I mean, I am excited. This is exactly what I've asked for.
It could not be better than this. Week 2 of playoffs. It's all gonna shake out in just the craziest way possible. Now we're 30 seconds in, and now we finally get an idea of how OK State's going to approach this one. We've seen them try for sort of a combination of east side control with this piano side clear, and that hasn't worked out too well. So now they're going to have to maybe change something up here, change the way they want to take control of piano, but that the focus is going to have to be on getting that deployable shield in bathroom dealt with, because that has proven to be a absolute thorn in the side of this attack. Turns out it's already been dealt with. The wall has been open and the shield is gone. And so Jack Whiskey has been forced to fall back into freezer, and this attacking progress is so far the best attacking progress that OK State have made on this bar and cocktail take. Now they just have to extend that control, further that momentum into an actual execute, into some actual kills.
Yeah, an excellent job getting rid of the wub, the Banshee there, as Kanoma is going to be feeding some shots into bathroom / freezer in an attempt to connect to someone. Do not believe he got anyone at all. So issues here, going to be sitting on the eagle eye, going to be doing all he can to deter the attack. Jack Whiskey, who was pushed off originally from without a shield there in bathroom, is going to take some bullets, almost dead, if you will. So right now, Slash, and you mentioned, Jay-Z, this is the best progress we have seen from Oklahoma State, as they have 3 people, 2 people kind of flowing back and forth into piano there, which is an excellent type of progress if you want. Of course, Jack Whiskey is going to be turtling there. Kung Fu is going to be trading some shots here on stacks of the white stairs as well. Jack Whiskey, who is left there all by himself, just going to be basically a utility killer as he sits back there with almost little to no health. 40 seconds left. Kung Fu is going to get a pick on Kanoma, but right now everything is moving around super fast. Cosmic is going to take care of Jack Whiskey, who almost had little to no health to begin with. Cosmic is going to be shot down with little health. He has the diffuser in hand. 25 seconds left. Anything can happen.
Inception Now poking through the freezer, looking to find something, but 20 seconds are all that remains. The execute has to happen. Cosmic is gonna do that. Putting the diffuser on the ground, but the Evil Eye is gonna try to take him down. Slash will take down Turks. Inception on Kung Fu. It's issues in Rush. They have to retake this in a 2v4, otherwise it's gonna be the third map. Slash finds another. Rush gets caught out, and the air jabs takes him down. Cosmic delivers it. An OK state in round 15. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we've got our decider map coming up, ladies and gentlemen.
We are going to a third map. This is exactly what we wanted. You said it. Week 2 of playoffs. These teams know each other so well. This is unbelievable. Fu was saying, hopefully I shoot straight in map 3. I could ask for nothing less. This is absolutely what I wanted to see. 8-7, Oklahoma State takes it. This is, I mean, you could not write this. I mean, the rehost was the crucial part, I think you could say, for Oklahoma State. Though they dropped rounds originally after the rehost, I mean, that was the mature play. That was the play for you to get organized, and it was just enough in order for you to squeak by and push this to map 3.
I am absolutely speechless. This is incredible, and honestly, Barrett, if we see a round 15 on our decider, I mean, this would be crazy. But
Sheesh.
we're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait just a few minutes. We're gonna take a 10-minute break. Let these teams rest up. Let us get a drink of water here, and let us bring that energy for map 3. So we're gonna take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. But please stick around, because this is shaping up to be one of the best matches, or at least the most hotly contested matches we've seen so far. Stick around, and we will be right back.
Rising with each beat of the music is bringing little flames in the fire that keeps burning. We're inviting the night in. Welcome, my heart so full, I'm devoting myself to the night. There's no motive, we're just listening, we're existing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You have made it to map 3. If you are just joining us, which I doubt, but if you are, you have just missed the two greatest maps, the two most fun maps you could possibly watch ever. It has been round 15 in map 1. Oklahoma took the dub. Round 15, map 2. OK State took the dub. It has been the collegiate special. Take your opponent's map pick and then duke it out on the decider map. Once again, my name is Jace Wills, and Barrett is joining me on the desk. And it has been a crazy, crazy series, and it is even going to get spicier, Barrett.
Yes, I'm glad I went and got an energy drink in between the maps, 1 and 2, because I'm sure I was going to need it, and I was right because looking at this, the contest between both these teams, we talked about them. 67 miles separate these campuses. They're neighbors practically. These two teams know each other. Of course, we talked about them not having their IGL before, but I don't know if we saw it on the screen just there. Jay Z Hyena has joined the squad but in a crucial time for Oklahoma State. This is I'm not I want to say unprecedented, but you can't make this stuff up. You cannot write this. This has been awesome content tonight for everyone in the CR6 audience.
Yeah, and we're going right on into our third map. And yes, Barrett, what you said is absolutely correct. Hyena, the IGL, the man who was replaced tonight by Fua, has returned to the building, ladies and gentlemen. He has filled his spot on this OK State roster. And now, with their IGL at the helm, OK State are not looking to mess around anymore, but nor are Oklahoma. We'll get into that just a second. The ban phase is now our focus. Thatcher is gone. Jackal is gone. We have our defensive bans now. Kaid off the table, an essential ban most of the time on Clubhouse. You've got your Maverick still on the table, which is interesting. You've got your Hibana still on the table, which make this map a little bit more attacker skewed, but no doubt a defensive sided map. And as our last offensive ban is going to roll on through, it will be, of course, that Mira. So it's going to make it even harder to lock down some of those sites. But before we get into this one, you have to touch on the success that both of these teams have had so far. Oklahoma have looked incredibly strong all night long. Not only have they been able to take this fight to OK State, but they have had their number all night long. They came back from a 4-round deficit. They clawed their way back in on map number 1, forcing round 15 and winning round 15. And so now on Clubhouse, on a map that, at least in week 3, when these two teams battled, it was indeed Oklahoma who prevailed in that engagement. And that was with Hyena at the helm of this team. So this is really could go either way, but you have to assume that this is probably going to be the best decider map we could ever wish for.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jay-Z. I believe the outcome of this map last time these two teams met was 7-5 in favor of Oklahoma State. So not a map that was a blowaway whatsoever. So, we saw clutch plays in week 3. We're sure going to see some clutch plays in week 2 of playoffs right now, a second time around, if you will. So, Hyena coming in to the force right now, to coming into the fight so late, but just needed at the right time is unprecedented. I don't think we've had a moment, at least in my time casting, a very short career in casting, where a player comes in off the bench. The IGL, where was he the first 2 maps? I don't know, but he's here now, and I'm excited for both sides to get it going.
It's definitely going to change the dynamic. You have to assume that everything is going to be changing now. Not only is the leader now back at the helm of this team, but you have to be aware that maybe he's not all that warmed up. Maybe this is a last-minute sub. Maybe that the IGLing just isn't there because of whatever circumstances Hyena has going on. And with Slash taking 90 damage already in this round, or about 85 there, Things aren't starting out well for OK State. Slash on that overextension, but something that we know that Oklahoma has yet to deal with effectively is an extended roam presence from OK State, and on Clubhouse, Slash and Hyena will be bringing out that extension very early on.
Yeah, we're gonna see Slash smartly walking away from that fight, but still applying pressure as we're gonna see him worm away here. Oh, but not enough as Turks was watching him. So Turks is gonna take care of Slash, but he's done his job, at least stalling for the time being. You know, he's able to do a good job. And you mentioned it, Jay-Z. Is Hyena warm enough? I can't imagine he was sitting on the sidelines just playing T-Hunt, warming up or watching film. So we're gonna have to wonder how fresh he is to compete
Attackers
in this
are
contest
locating
as
the
we
bomb.
look on here. A minute 30 left in the match. Rush is still taking bullets here outside of stock room, but right now you have to press, at least apply the pressure if you're Oklahoma that you've done so well when you actually apply it, because you know you have a player who isn't warm on the other side. You have a player who hasn't seen your tendencies, and you want to capitalize on that, your unpredictability to that player.
Well, they've capitalized on the extended roam from Slash at least. They've taken him off the board, but they have to do more than just that. They have to get this wall open. Despite not having a Maverick, Issues will not have any trouble dealing with that. But Konoma, a double kill. Konoma refuses to slow down this pace. This man is simply built different, finding frag after frag, that top fragger for this team all night long. The man advantage has now swung in the favor of OK State, and all they have to do now is play off this clock. But Oklahoma is hungry. Kung Fu and Construction pre-firing on the top red, looking to get some traction back in this round, but Cosmic proves to be elusive. Kung Fu still looking for those shots. Jack Whiskey to bring that support. Issues holding this angle from the breach, trying to find this crossfire, but OK State are proving a little bit too elusive. A brilliant C4 toss from Inception will deliver Kung Fu to the grave. It's all up to Jack Whiskey in a 1v4, and he has to find a lot of this frags. But with 4 seconds left, he cannot do any of that. No diffuser, no line of sight, and no way to win that round. OK State will find their first successful defensive round.
Well, we asked the question if Hyena was warm enough, at least to get a, to be in the saddle here, and he does win his first exchange here. So maybe putting doubters to bed right now, as they would take the first round. But right now, if you're Oklahoma, I keep pressuring. I think we still got into the fact of we are still at a minute 30 and we hadn't really applied that much pressure there, because yes, we took care of the extended roam, but you didn't really break the shell of the defense as they were still held up in cash and red there. So excellent job by Oklahoma State. But if you're Oklahoma, keep pressing the gas, but you got to do it in a quicker manner, if you will.
I absolutely agree, Barrett. I think that decisiveness of the roam clear is going to be a focus of this matchup, and it's something that they had generally down, Oklahoma generally had down in round number 1, dealing with Slash, and eventually extending that on-site pressure, but they're definitely going to have to deal with it quicker, especially on this basement bomb site, a site that requires map control to actually get vertical pressure starting on the bomb site. Of course, if Kitchen Hatch isn't your end destination, maybe you don't need the full map control, but it almost always is the key focal point of any attack. The one point of concern is the lack of a Maverick. Again, it seems that Oklahoma just do not like to play the Surrey Torch wielding operator, but it's not too big of a deal. Of course, Kung Fu has those X-Kairos pellets that Habana has, and you've got Issues bringing those exothermic charges. So definitely going to be bringing quite a bit of hard breaching utility, but you're going to have to deal with, I would say, some hard breach denial, but you're actually not. There is no Kaid, there is no Bandit, there is no Mute. It's all going to be simply opening up those non-electrified hatches, just sending it on in as soon as possible.
Yeah, and Oklahoma State opting to at least attempt to win all these fights with gunfight, or at least opt to at least play to their strengths of winning gun skill, if you will, because yeah, they don't have any wall denial, and of course, you have the breachers on the other side of the attack here, at least with Thermite and Hibana. So I guess if you're Oklahoma, right now you got to feel a little bit better about that, knowing you don't have to work off at least a little bit of wall tile. But right now they're going to be dropping into logistics. Of course, you're going to have to take it down because we do know is a roamer in cash right now. So Rush going to be applying a breaching charge to the construction wall. Of course, Slash is sitting here all by himself, along with Hyena, who is sitting in garage storage. I mean, at least Hyena is in a spot where he can walk back down to site quickly about, not worrying about bullets coming down from the attackers. But right now, you have to worry about the roam clear right now because that's going to be a problem in later points of the game.
Well, now with 90 seconds burned and the roam roughly dealt with here, Oklahoma now look to be extending this pressure onto the site itself. Of course, Jack Whiskey losing about 30 HP is not going to be helpful for this attack, nor will be the presence of Hyena and Slash. Hyena top secret, Slash playing behind the rack in the garage, just waiting for this inevitable push to come through. Turks will be that first operator to make that push. The Ash was swinging on up, bringing those breaching charges in pocket to probably help with some vertical play, which is just now beginning on the other side of this floor. But with a minute left and Slash and Hyena ever present on this roam, this could be quite problematic for Oklahoma. This breach will allow the sightline onto Slash, but the headshot is found. He looks for the second, but it's denied. But Hyena comes in for the save. The support will find Rush in his early grave, and Slash will now drop down into Oil Pit, and the res is possible. But the flashes are going to pour on in church. The deployable shield is going to be felled, and here comes Kung Fu, straight on through a Toxic Babe, but straight into the bullets from the SMG-11. Issues and Jack Whiskey are all that remains, and they have quite a bit of work to do. Jack Whiskey finds one, taking down Konoma, but he has to find a lot more, and he can't do it. Jack Whiskey's going to get cut down, Issues is going to get cut down, and Oklahoma State will win round 2.
Oklahoma State coming out here with a solid defense to start. Great job by Slash and Hyena. The roam was not taken care of, and they were able to establish a crossfire there at the bottom of Red Stairs, which was ultimately a benefit to the Oklahoma State side. If you're Oklahoma, you have to take care of the roam presence. I think we've said that every map so far because both teams do a very good job of establishing a roam presence on each map. So that is the keys to the game for Oklahoma right now. If you're Oklahoma State, keep up what you're doing because so far it is working.
Overall, the approach that Oklahoma are bringing to their attacks is something that I really like to see. I like the split of manpower a little bit to the roam clear and a little bit to actually getting progress on the site, because getting that progress makes the roamers a little bit antsy. It makes them nervous that the site pressure is going and they're going to have to rotate back, and having the manpower devoted to the roam clear as well makes it so that the roamers actually can't rotate around to site and actually help. That is a good balance that I think Oklahoma are starting to find round after round, but it's still taking them a bit too long. And you combine that with OK State bringing a very, very passive roam. It is a style of roam that can be very hit or miss, but the way they are employing it, now with Hyena at the helm commanding this roam and instructing on how it should actually go down, it seems infallible. It's a just really good stuff we're seeing from OK State on that roam. We saw one player holding secret, one player holding garage. They supported each other, they worked off each other, and they spent so much time off the clock. If OK State can do that on every defensive round, or as many as possible going further, I think success is an understatement to what they will find. But Oklahoma are starting to get that roam clear under their belt, and they have an efficient take on their hands as well. It's going to be dealing with this cache extension first, and then getting this pressure going on that tertiary bomb site.
And JC, you talk about the roaming presence, especially in secret and garage, the crossfire established. I think maybe with Oklahoma State, now that you have the infusion of Hyena into your lineup, you maybe feel a little more comfortable with doing these type of strats. As we're going to see Slash take down Jack Whiskey, and then he's going to eat a nade himself. A beautiful throw there by Kung Fu. She's got to take care of one more. Oh, he's going to be going on the drone at the wrong time, but that does not matter as Kung Fu is going to take care of Kanoma. Now he can go on that drone and gather intel for his team without the danger of the defenders. But of course, I think right now the infusion of Hyena, you are able to do all these different strats that maybe you are accustomed to. Maybe you didn't have enough time with Hua being in your lineup. But right now, Oklahoma is doing a very good job of deterring this extended defense.
Yeah, with that extension dealt with, now Rush is going to be pressuring directly onto this master side. You've got Turks at that window to combine with that pressure, but you've got Cosmic fragging out and removing Kung Fu. Hyena on the aggressive swing will do about 80 damage to Turks, and Turks has only got about 20 HP to their name. Now a 3v3, the equal man count now on our hands, and a minute is roughly left on this clock. Issues now opening up from this Logi side is going to establish this crossfire and force Hyena into a brutal position. Despite that, he will find one, cutting down Rush, and he will remain stalwart behind this mattress. Hyena, another one. Issues, where are you, man? You've got to be supporting your teammate. Hyena will remain unscathed. Issues will not find the kill, and Issues is now stuck in a 1v3. He's got 3 players to find. Hyena is on the hunt for another and is tucked here in construction. The pre-fire comes on through, but the MP7 will not find its target true. Issues now 5 HP is all that remains. 20 seconds is all he has to work with, and 2 defenders. 200 HP is standing between him and his eventual victory. The Super Shorty will do exactly that. It will deliver Issues to the grave and OK State. Find round 3.
Hyena, I mean, the man has come. I don't even know. We talked about him not being warm. I mean, he's come in like he was just playing like 2 hours of ranked. Like he was full sweat mode right there. I mean, key kills and picks off the defense there, especially with low health. You're right. Issues had to come in there to support his teammate, especially with Hyena coming to extend to kill Turks there. But I mean, excellent job so far by Oklahoma State. Oklahoma has got to get it going, though. You don't want to let this get out of hand, especially in a crucial 4th round here coming up. Of course, you don't want to be too extruded out, enough to bridge the gap. Of course, there is no gap that hasn't been bridged just yet, but you want to at least get a couple rounds here on attack so you have some in pocket to build strength up going into your defense.
To locate and defuse as bombs as they can.
We say it time and time again, Barrett, just like the point you made, it's all about attack on Clubhouse. Most maps this may be the case, but on Clubhouse especially, attack is where you win this map, because defending these sites is generally considered the easier job in terms of each roster and what they have to actually do. So if you can get some attacking wins under your belt, going into your defensive half, things will be looking up for you. Things will be looking really good, even if you're down a round or 2, a 4-2 split. Getting 2 rounds under your belt, that would be considered, ample. That's fine by me. You get those 2 rounds and you move on to your defensive side. But OK State are really making that hard for Oklahoma. Oklahoma has looked so strong every single attacking time, and we've seen them put up incredible decisive takes. But so far, 3 rounds in a row, even the brilliant attacking strategies we've seen from Oklahoma have been stalled out by OK State.
Yeah, and Slash and Hyena are going to be out in this extended. Oh my goodness, a spot here, a bullet hole, a punch hole that could be dangerous, and Hyena is going to make Turks pay for it for peeking that. An excellent spot established by Hyena. So yet again, Hyena coming in here and injecting himself into this match, ultimately changing the outcome of these rounds so far. I mean, Oklahoma, I think we've both seen Jay-Z, like, they've been pretty decent on attack. Whether it's establishing tempo or stratting out to beat some of these Oklahoma State defense tactics. But right now, I mean, they are not lost right now, but it seems like Hyena coming in here has changed everything.
Well, so far it has, but you have to keep in mind that Cafe was sitting at 5-1, and Oklahoma stormed back and took it to round 15. So Oklahoma are far from out of this fight. They are definitely in this, despite struggling to find some success here. They are still looking quite clean Slash will look even cleaner though, as he'll take the head of Rush and now is on the hunt for one more. That's going to be the Nomad. That's going to be Jack Whiskey. Cut down. Slash now double kill for him. Issues is searching for Slash, but all of a sudden Hyena, the C4 to Kung Fu, leaves Issues in an impossible 1v5. Slash is unaware. All Issues has to do is peek that corner for just a second, but the pixel off. One
What?
pixel off from finding that kill. Unfortunate there for Issues, making this one even harder. OK State are just hunting for this frag at this point. Slash will not be able to find it, getting a bit too over-aggressive, and the defenders are outside, and they are finding their shots. Konoma, the headshot onto Issues. OK State, their next round under their belts.
Unfortunate for Issues. Not that it might have changed the match outcome, but just swinging that corner just a little bit more would have gotten an easier kill on Slash than him having to trade some health for the frag. But I mean, Oklahoma State there, at least coming out and getting picks. The pick by Hyena through the bullet hole, the C4, the nitro cell, whatever you want to call it. Getting the pick is crucial, especially on defense. So Oklahoma has got to get going here, at least to keep it going. I know you say they can bridge the gap, Jay-Z. I have faith in the Oklahoma. I have faith in Oklahoma. We've seen it all night. It's all these maps. Maybe this is just a different path to get to 6-6 again. But right now, you have to win around here in order to get you to 6-6. So good work by Oklahoma State, but we got to get a win here if we're on the Oklahoma side.
Yeah, you're gonna need at least one win, I'd say, under your belt. Staring down match point, at that point, it's so tough to even for Oklahoma, a team that has some of the strongest mental game that I've seen out of any team. Staring down a 6-0 is brutal. It is brutal. But a 5-1, they have proved in map number 2, and they have shown to us that they can bring it back from a 5-1 split. So no matter how strong OK State is here on defense, I will keep Oklahoma very much in the forefront of this fight. But you really have to consider how much Hyena has brought to this team, because these rounds have been decisive, to say the least. In Cafe, when OK State was finding their wins without, sure, they had 5-1 on the defensive side, but they were not this decisive at all. Hyena being here, leading the team, not only leading the team, but finding the 6 kills right now, the top frag on this team, that is a huge factor. And already we are going to see an engagement underway as Slash will actually narrowly avoid the crosshair of Turks, who's coming in on that garage clear.
Yeah, I mean, the injection of Hyena, for a man to come off the bench and then to come out here through 4 rounds to be a top frag is very impressive. So, I mean, we're going to see Turks here pushing from garage, of course, Kung Fu pushing from stockroom as well in an attempt to get some vertical control here, as we're going to see them, at least the defenders, scurry back into the generator spot there. So Turks, I believe there is one roam presence above, and that is Slash. So he is going to be looking to stall time as much as possible. Of course, Slash now going to be audited by the drone there, so he's going to have to be careful for himself trying to get back to site, as Kung Fu is actually waiting down there in bar at the bottom of those main stairs. So he might be stuck, as the team is also coming from cash. So Kung Fu doing a very good job here of making sure the roamers don't get back to site, which is very hurtful if you are on the attack. You let the guy get away. You want to make him pay if he's on that roam.
Well, nobody is actually going to be taken down just yet. Nobody has been, I guess, like you said, Barrett, made to pay. Slash is content holding this top floor. Turks will finally kick things off, dropping down Oil Pit. He'll take down Konoma. Inception going to get pummeled by Utility and is going to be very low HP now, but is content to hold this church position. Slash, now knowing that the site pressure is fully mounting, is now going to have to rotate around to support the team. There probably are some flank drones in positions, but without any air jabs in play, this could be a very free flank for Slash. But in the meantime, this site pressure is hugely mounting as Rush at the helm of this push, and Turks to join him are pushing in blue. Inception finds one, that's Turks to be cut down. Slash finds the other on the flank, that's Rush. Hyena downs one, Kung Fu is fallen in moto. The Toxic Babe looks to finish Kung Fu, but it will not. Jack Whiskey and Issues are all that remains of this crumbling attack. Once again, Hyena finishing off his kill, now swinging on Moto and is not going to be punished for it. Jack Whiskey gets absolutely hammered by Slash and Hyena, and Issues is once again the lone Oklahoma attacker that remains. Hyena, the pistol kill on the flank, will give OK State another round. This is looking pretty good for OK State so far.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. I mean, we cannot, the Fat Lady is not sung yet, so we cannot say that. We've seen the gap bridged before. We need a win here. You do not want to be staring down, I mean, match point on defense. Yes, all maps usually are defensive sided, but I mean, you can mentally, you cannot be sitting here thinking, okay, we have to worry about, you know, we have to worry about match point. Like, there is no margin of error. Like, you cannot, I wouldn't even want to be in that situation. That is terrible. So right now, if you're Oklahoma, get this win here, take it in your pocket, and run with it like you've done all night.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
They've
attackers.
got one more round, or at least Oklahoma have one more round to bring this back. They are not out of this fight, but the addition of Hyena has clearly turned OK State into a team that we actually have not seen tonight so far. This team is by far so much more coordinated, much more put together. They're playing as a full team rather than playing as those individual players. Maybe it's simply the gun skill that Hyena brings to the table, but I seriously doubt that. I really think that IGLing, that leadership that he brings is really carrying OK State to really just make everybody shine individually upon that. I mean, you talk about the frags, you talk about, those big players lighting up the leaderboard, and they would be nothing without not only strong support players, but a good IGL to boot. Hyena has proven that, having those big frags, it's not simply all that you need. You need to have leadership. You need to have command of your team and command of the situation to find the most success.
Yeah, leadership is, I mean, a huge part in anything you really do, any team sport. Just to take it outside of esports, I mean, you go to anything. I mean, the coach of any team is a big thing, and IGL is your organizer, is your person who can help you do a lot of things. Direction is key for a lot of things, as we're going to see them get the wall here, but the bandit tricking will be in effect. So the bandit tricking will be huge here as they are able to deter at least almost all the Selma charges. So just another instance here of Hyena taking all the Selma charges off the board. Of course, now you still have the Maverick. Turks is going to take down Slash, so you're helping your favor here. But just a little places, we're going to see Turks actually walking into sight here. It's going to get gunned down by Kanoma. That CC wall is exposed. But right now, running up with a minute 40, you got to go here if you're Oklahoma.
Yeah, you've got to get this pressure going. The man advantage has been equalized for both of these teams, but there is a flank to worry about, or there is an extended player to worry about. That's Kanoma, the 416 in hand. He'll be looking to take down this player. That the flashes will come in, but the reposition from Kanoma was brilliant. Good micro positioning there will net him the kill on Kung Fu. The man advantage even further in OK State's favor. Kanoma now smartly falling back to construction, but the pressure is mounting from all sides from Oklahoma. They're still in this round. You've got Rush opening up Jacuzzi. You've got Issues over here on this gym window. Well, now Rush rotating around to support Jack Whiskey on this very clear. And now with under a minute to go, with the time dwindling away, Oklahoma are going to continue to build this pressure, but they have to do it fast. Kanoma a triple kill. He is on for that ace, theoretically, as he cut down that player, that Rush, who pushed on through. Jack Whiskey looking for the shots. He's going to look away at the wrong time. Hyena going to steal the kill from his teammate and deliver Jack Whiskey to the grave. Issues will find another, but lo and behold, it is Issues once again, the last player that remains, playing support here, trying to make an impact in terms of that utility usage, but his team crumbling all around him. It's another brutal situation.
And Kanoma has been the player all night who has been the person to basically stop any attack. I mean, we saw that on Pixel as Cosmic's going to gun down Issues, setting the lead to 6-0, putting themselves in an excellent position on Oklahoma State side. But I mean, Kanoma has been a stud on defense. I mean, a person who has deterred any type of attack, giving a different look, whether it's on extension without any deployable shields or just playing in the reinforcements. I mean, we saw the micro positioning there. That was an iffy play. I mean, I can't even blame the Habana in that situation. You flash, you're supposed to push with the flash. Excellent micro positioning by Kanoma. He's been getting it done all night, and he shows again why.
Well, it is 6-0, the scoreline that we said would be a nearly impossible comeback situation for even the most competent of defensive teams here on Clubhouse. I know from experience that Oklahoma, they have a composed defense on this site, but the question is that composure enough to bridge this 6 round gap? And not only that, but to take 6 rounds in a row to force overtime. Now, I would say that this change from Oklahoma State is just simply too powerful, but we're also seeing more mistakes come out of Oklahoma, whether that's simply because they are making more mistakes or simply because the change in pacing and the change in strategy from OK State is simply exposing more of those mistakes. We can't really put a finger on exactly why it's all going wrong for Oklahoma, but what you do know is absolutely clear is they now have a brutal comeback to orchestrate. But they have proven that they can conduct that very comeback. They have done it before. So until this is over, until 7 rounds are under OK State's belt, I refuse to count Oklahoma out of this fight.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a myriad of things. I mean, there could be, I mean, just different things. I mean, sometimes it just isn't your day on some of these maps. Of course, I mean, it could be so easy for many people in the crowd to point towards the infusion of Hyena into the site or into this game. I mean, mentally, I can't say both these teams are weak or are not formidable at all because both of them are very good. Especially they have to be tired after both maps going to round 15, the longest you can go. So I mean, just anything could be a possible explanation of what we're seeing tonight. Of course, hats off to Oklahoma, hats off to Oklahoma State, but it's not over yet. I mean, Oklahoma, we can see anything can happen. I think we've seen that tonight. So as we see on this final defense, or at least, you know, could be your final defense, you have to buckle down here and take care of business for 6 more rounds.
Well, they're still holding down this site. No business, quote unquote, has been taken care of by either of these teams. The map control is slowly being obtained by OK State, but what they haven't worried about yet is Kung Fu, an ever-present roamer now working his way up the main stairs. This could be seriously problematic here, but Issues is going to be pressured from construction. Kung Fu now a free flank as nobody is paying attention. He might be able to pull this off. I'm not sure if the call has gone out. But either way, Kung Fu is now tucked away in Jim. He'll find one and the flick will land. Hyena's cut down, but now his position is known. But it's not fully known. Apparently, the breach will find its kill. Cosmic finally has the answer, taking down Kung Fu, but Oklahoma, they're looking good here to take this one. They've got a minute left to hold this site down, and OK State have a minute to get this pressure mounting. Kanoma starts things up, takes down Issues, but there are still 3 more defenders to find. You've got Turks here in CCTV. The fire will not force him out. The impacts will rain on down, but Inception will swing on in with the SMG-11 and find one. Turks will respond, but so will Kanoma. A double kill for Kanoma. The shots will land on the last one. Yes, they will. And OK State will 7-0 Oklahoma.
Wow. Wow is all I have to say. I mean, this has been a heck of a ride tonight. I mean, hats off to both teams. I mean, stellar performance. I mean, this is, crazy, unimaginable. I think we didn't come into production meeting tonight. We did know it was gonna go to 3 maps, but we certainly did not know that the man coming off the bench was gonna be here the match MVP, which is nuts. I mean, for Hyena to come in here at the end, absolutely stellar performance. Cold, I believe there's no way he was just playing on his off time. Hats off to Oklahoma. I mean, I have to know these guys are great buddies. These guys are, I have to imagine they're friends in IRL. I mean, they have to be acquaintances at some point because they know each other so well, and we showed that tonight.
They did. It was an incredible matchup. I know I promised everyone out there that we were going to go the distance in map 3, but the addition of Hyena shook everything up. It changed the entire game. It changed how these teams played, how they both looked in comparison to one another. It really does seem that having Hyena on the team is it's a core part of their roster and is something that is I guess here to stay and a reason that OK State are one of those big teams to reckon with. But if you're an opponent or a future opponent of OK State, there have been a lot of kinks in their attack and defense that were exposed here tonight against a brilliant performance from Oklahoma. So you can take a look at that. You can read into that as you will, but you have to consider that the presence of Hyena really shakes it all up. So we are going to be getting an interview in here. It is my good friend Slash in the booth as always. Slash, first of all, congratulations on the sweatiest match of all time. And just tell me how you're feeling right now.
Oh, we're pretty excited, pretty happy with that win. Getting our main roster back, as you saw, definitely a little bit better play there for us. So yeah, we're pretty excited with that win.
All right.
Um,
Well, Barry,
yeah,
yeah, take it away with some questions
yeah.
now.
Go ahead. First of all, congrats, Slash. Excellent job bringing that back there. My question to you is, what was it like these first two maps where you had to take the role of being the IGL?
Um, it's definitely tough because I'm pretty brain dead in Siege. So not having Hyena there, not and no offense to Fu at all, I love Fu, but not having our starting roster definitely makes it more difficult for us. And I'm admittedly pretty bad at IGLing or any of that. So yeah, the first two maps were definitely tough for us, but we did eke that one out on map two.
Okay, and I mean, I don't want to speculate. I don't know where he was at. Did you guys like get him on the horn maybe during the rehost and said, "Hey, like we need support, we need backup," or what was the situation there?
So Hyena, Emmett, he actually was driving home from vacation. Like he was in the car and he said, I'll be on in 5 minutes." So he had to unfortunately come home from vacation early for some stuff, but he sped home in his car to hop on and got to map 3 for us.
Well, luckily for you guys, he came back and you guys came through on the final map.
Yep, we did.
Well,
JZ.
Slash, it's good to see you in the booth as always,
Oh,
man. And
tradition, Jay-Z, tradition.
tradition indeed. And then you and I talked in good depth, leading up to this match, how significant it was and how the dynamic would play out with Fua in addition to that roster. Now, we both know how competent Fua is as a player, but talk to me a little bit more about map 1 and map 2 and what was the biggest, problem that crippled your usual success and the success we saw in round 3. I mean, talk to me, was it the fragging potential of Hyena that you lost out? Was it the leadership? Was it a bit of both? Just give me your feelings on the whole situation.
It was definitely a bit of both, as he's one of our top fraggers and the IGL, as you said. So when you take out one of our fraggers and the IGL, it just puts the team in a tough spot. But map one, I mean, admittedly, I played pretty bad, so I let my team down. But the rest of my guys stepped up. In the end, we lost some really close rounds. So we could have taken map one, we didn't. And just throughout map one and two, you've heard me say it one round at a time. With Fua, it's just a little bit different the way we play, and the synergy is just not there, so it's a little harder for us. But having Emmett there, Hyena coming in on the last map, I mean, as you saw, when the OK State main five is playing and warm, that's just how it goes usually.
Yeah, it did seem like the OK State of old, of last week even, rather than of those first two maps. And talk to me about those closing rounds of Cafe. You were staring down series point. You were playing for your tournament live, something that you guys, have done so many times before, it seems. But, I know you have that one game at it, one round at a time mentality. What were, those key moments that you felt you could bring it back and really grind it out to round 15 there?
I think if I remember, we had like Kanoma had got a 4K late in round, and just Cafe was me and him. I think me and Kanoma like combined 36 kills, but as a team, we brought it together on the rounds we needed. Major props to OU throughout the whole thing. Like these guys have gotten so much better. We're really good friends with OU, so I'm always in contact with them. Those boys practice all the time. They're becoming really good. But yeah, on Cafe, we just you hear me one round at a time. And I think there were just some crucial frags that we got on some of the late rounds that helped. And I mean, I won't lie, we were definitely pretty nervous. Like 8-7, that's just always your heart's racing in that situation. But yeah, I think we just did what we needed to do when we needed to do it, and we got the rounds that we needed.
All right. Well, it is the last question of the night. This is the one where I pass the mic to you, my friend. Your chance to shout out your team, your opponents, your supporters, anyone who you'd like. The mic is yours, good sir.
I mean, I'll just shout out my whole team. I'll shout out Fua for coming in and playing map 1 and 2 as a sub. Big props to Fua for being in there. Hyena for showing up map 3 and bringing it back for us. And the whole team, everyone. I've seen a lot of people I know in chat supporting us, so thank you to everyone that's supporting us in chat. And big thanks to you, Jay Z and Barrett, for casting. I always appreciate that, and Tango for observing. So thanks for all that stuff, boys.
Of course, it has been a pleasure. And go celebrate what you did with your team and have a great night, man.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight has been quite a night. We saw two of the most hotly contested maps we have seen so far. Both saw round 15. You throw a little hyena in the mix, and things will shake up just a little bit. But we've learned a lot here tonight. Opponents of OK State have also learned a lot. And, well, OK State is moving on to the round of 8, the quarterfinals in the Open League playoffs. So you'll have to wait till next week to see them in action. But the more Collegiate R6 action is happening tomorrow. We've got some more incredible matchups for you. Purdue versus Illinois. It is going to be a great matchup, and we've got a great weekend of Siege as well. But until then, we hope you all have a fantastic rest of your night, and we will see you next time. So long.